Thank you for the bad. Thank you for everything that ever will be. So, kind of a historic day here. I wonder how many people in the last 15 years that listen to me are reaping the benefits of. I'm not an economic advisor, and I'm not giving any economic advice. But silver breaks $100, triple digit silver. Is that the top, or is this just the beginning of a long bull cycle? So again, I'm hoping people that had listened to me. I know there's many people who have taken my precious metals, and I hope they're enjoying the benefits of all the what goes around and comes around. That's what my dad taught me. And don't really do the karma thing, but I know a lot of people have enjoyed all my hard labor and have taken my silver. So my first recommendation is don't tell anybody where your silver's at, and you have really no third-party risk. That's a beautiful thing about God's money, silver, that it doesn't generally, like gold, it's going to hold its purchasing power. I think we're seeing, myself personally, just the beginning. And again, I hope that everybody that's listened to me through the years, I have a channel that's called Silver's Like Gold. So I've been talking about silver since it was $13, $14, $15. And again, I've because I told people where my silver is at, I've had, a lot of silver taken away from me. So just like what I said, what goes around comes around. So hopefully those people have enjoyed all the hard labor that it took me to collect all that silver, and someday it'll be paid back double, right? So, but for now, we'll put that behind us, and we'll talk about the current situation and where you think silver might go next, 3 to 6 months, maybe where you see it at the end of the year. I've made a guesstimate, and I'm not giving, again, any economic advice in this live stream here on what I think silver will do. I've been paying attention to silver for, again, back when it was not popular. Now silver seems to be, well, it was the number one performing asset of 2025. There's a deficit of silver to 2 to 300 million ounces every year. There's less silver produced than there is for the demand. A major portion of the demand, 80+%, is in industrial. And that's continuing to grow with data mining centers and robotics, electronics, AI. I think we're just starting to scratch the surface. I think $100 silver is cheap. I've said that before. So I'd like to have some more, fiat currency dollars to buy more, but I just don't. I'm always, it's a little bit of a struggle because I don't have a regular income like most people, even though I'm a veteran. And probably I would like to see people, again, take some profit. If you bought silver at $13 an ounce, $14, $15, maybe it's time to go buy that double cab Tacoma that you wanted. Maybe it's time to do a little remodel on your house. If you're going to put it away, like kings and queens put away silver for generations, and they knew that the value of it would keep its purchasing power. Again, I've talked about how throughout history, like in Rome, a gold ounce would buy you a nice toga. It would buy you a steak dinner. You could take your lady out, would have that steak dinner and a bottle of wine. And I think gold is pushing around 5,000 now. In the 1800s, it was about $3 an ounce. That'd buy you the finest hand-tailored money, suit that money could buy, and a steak dinner and a bottle of wine. So again, $5,000 will get you an Armani suit, steak dinner and a bottle of wine. So again, it's a good store of value, and it holds its purchasing power. So that's a nice thing. Is the money supply, they're printing $1 trillion every 100 days right now. So that's unfathomable. You could take and stack, dollar bills end on end and go backward to the moon 4 times. So That's a unfathomable. If you came back here every day and I gave you $1 million, you have to come back here for 360,000 years. 360,000 years just to pay off just $1 trillion. So thank you, Father, for God's money. Again, it's something that's been around for thousands of years and it's never lost its value. It's never gone to zero. So there's been thousands, about 4,000 of these paper, currencies. Gold is money, silver is money. It's not currency. Currency, in order to be money, it has to be, a store value. It has to be tangible, dividable. You got to be able to make change, and it has to store value again. And these fiat currencies don't do anything but lose. There's been 4,000 of them that were put into circulation. And the only ones, the ones that are currently floating around are going to sink too eventually. And that's what we're starting to see here. So again, I'm hoping, maybe karma, will catch up with the people that, good or bad, it is what it is. You reap what you sow, right? So what an amazing time to be a witness to see $100 silver. And I don't think that silver at $100 is even close to the as much as money that has been, currency that's been put into circulation. It's just begun. What we're going to see, I do see that we could see silver at possibly $300 an ounce. Wow, you guys are a lot of vain, a lot of swine in here today on Friday, huh? Thank you, Sabrina, for we don't sup with vipers. Lord's a pagan term, by the way, and you can't serve two masters. Apparently, you're serving your tongue, and we can see it coming out of your face. So you'll know them by their fruit. Do not judge them by their cover. You'll know them by their fruit. So thank you, Father. Again, I'm hoping again that people have benefited from having that. They can't inflate away your that was a little dull, isn't it? That's my pocket. Stick that one in my pocket. So thank you, Father, for creating something that just doesn't, it doesn't blow away in the wind like toilet paper. A lot of these, again, paper payments have been inflated away, and they can't hack. Here's one that I bought, I thought I way overpaid. I could have bought that same ounce for $44. It's a Coors silver bullet. I just thought that was kind of neat. I think people should get something that they like, and now it's obviously $100. So awesome is that for the people who have taken some sound economic advice, and I'm not giving any right now. And I think oil will go up. Personally, I think it'll go up. It's another one of these things that, it's in high demand. Even though the AI futures, I think the only time we'll truly see, remember, these are all done off of just like the comics. At the click of a mouse, they can change. During the COVID, we saw negative $40 oil. So they can change the prices by adding paper payments, paper contracts onto the market. But until we have release the anti-gravitics or perpetual polarity or anti-polarity, they're going to have a high demand for, oil is, look at all the machinery and vehicles and stuff. We do see China has made a huge move into the EV market, the electric, vehicles, and we've seen a lot of them crash too. A lot of companies over there in China are crashing. But as we see more of this, electric vehicles, I think then maybe we'll see the demand for, oil go down. But as of now, this has all been technology. Yeah, good. No, yeah, it's going to hit 5,000 easily. I think we could see gold hit 10, 20, 30. If you do according to the money supply that's in circulation, gold is way undervalued right now. And so is silver. I think silver at $100 is very cheap. And I've said that for some time. I told everybody I know, $50 silver is fire sale prices. And I don't think we'll ever see $50 silver ever again. So again, I'm hoping that people, again, I'm not giving any economic advice right now, but I hope people that are benefiting from getting in early. You got to buy at the shins, the knees, the waist, not up here at the shoulders. So do remember that 90% of the gains, 80 to 90% of the gains are made in the last 10% of the market. So I don't think we've even come close to what we're going to see on um, either gold or silver. So um, I do think that, I do think and thank the people that have listened, and thank the people who've listened and listen to that. It's God's money. Remember, it's, can't inflate away your gold, or you can't hack your gold or silver. And although there's been, we have the derivative market, that's like a $3 quadrillion, market. If just a tiny portion of that piled into either silver or gold market, it would blow the top off of those markets. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing. I've been telling everybody it's the big money right now that's moving into precious metals. It's not, the the little man. But $100 silver, I think that's going to get, it's kind of unfortunate, because people should have been buying at 13, 14, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. And again, I still think you're going to wish that you bought silver at $100, but that kind of prices out the regular average person who doesn't have a lot of extra saving. When they print $1 trillion every 100 days, it just makes everything more expensive. Groceries are expensive. Although gas is down, that's another one that's been manipulated by paper contracts. And I've been trying to tell everybody for as long as I've been on YouTube, for 12 years, that, these markets are manipulated. They're manipulated by a paper contract. How are you, if you buy a house, like you're buying a share in something, to 10 people buy into it, you base that off the price of the house, not off the paper. And that's how the way this silver market and precious metals market is priced. They priced it off the paper contracts. It's 300 plus contracts to one piece of paper, or one actual physical ounce. So that's like a cakewalk or whatever, where only one person, last year, you're going to be the last man standing. Nobody's going to get that 1 ounce of gold or silver. So it is manipulated, and I'm thinking that we're finally just starting to see that manipulation of the markets come off. And I remember telling my son, I sure miss him a lot. I miss you, Elijah. I don't know where you're at, but I sure miss you. I think about you all the time. That eventually one day they would let the top of the markets, they would let it go, because they have it in their coffers. They have it in their safes. If they lower the price of money, because they're the ones with the money printers, they can print all the money. They can use that price as a tool of manipulation. When you're printing the money and you can lower the price, people freak out, take it out of their safes and sell it, thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to crash. Or vice versa, like we see now, where, it hits $100 and, it's unreal how they still get it in their coffers. So, yeah, they got the money printers, they got the inflation creation machine. And that's what they can do. And then they still put the money in their coffers. So I did tell my son Elijah one day that they would let it run. And are we there yet? Maybe, maybe we're there. I'm not sure if we're there or not, but I know that pretty soon, I think that most people will be wishing they bought silver at $100. And I think some people think that this is the market top, but I think we've just entered into what is known as a bull cycle. Bull means going up and bear means going down. So I think the markets are just beginning to see the average Joe, if you will, start to pile into this market. Remember, 80% of the markets are industrial. It's industrial demand for, again, how much silver is in an aircraft destroyer. I've always said that silver, not always, but I'm more, silver is the lifeblood of the military industrial complex. It takes this metal since all our wars to put it in all the circuitry, tanks, aircraft carriers. How many hundreds of pounds are in an aircraft carrier? They put 500 of these ounces in a let's put that other one up there a little more shiny. You can see that buffalo a little better. Are you a buffalo herder? How many times have I said that on YouTube? Do you ever herd of buffaloes? These are the best kind of buffaloes. They don't bark. They don't bite. Well, there we go. I don't even know at 150 though if that's it. Is it 150? I think it's we're just starting to see what began as a long bull cycle. This could go on for years, and I don't pay attention to the price, because price again is a tool of manipulation. When you got the inflation creation machine and you can create all the money, you can make people take it out of their safe, because at $100 they bought in at 12, they're pulling profit. And I recommend people don't hold on. Yeah, but remember, save your where does that go? Don't just save your pennies. Don't ever take any kind of this quarter is 91% copper. That's just a big ass penny. Okay, Frank, think about that. It's copper. It's got a 75% copper core, and the cladding on a dime and a quarter, not a very good quarter, is 91%. So how much? Look at copper. It's hit $1,300, right? An ounce or a pound. Copper is $6 right now on the market for 1 ounce. Right? It's $6 a pound, but it's $6 an ounce. So good. Yeah, I've been telling everybody, Frank, on this here at this ministry, to save your pennies, and don't throw away those clad ones. Where do I have some pennies here somewhere? Don't I? Here, these are all clad pennies. But I guarantee you, if numismatic, there's a penny in there that's double dyed. It's a certain mark on it. So before you go throw those out, right, go through them and then go get some weight, get your weight up, go buy some precious metals at $100. There's probably a penny in here that might be worth $100. And this is clad. These aren't copper. Okay. Don't throw away any of your change. Okay. Go to the laundromats, go to the car washes. That quarter is, 91% copper. Let me take this call. I got some calls coming in. I'll be right back. It's going to be a busy day, I'm sure. And so we're at 100. I want to get some calls. Hopefully some of you. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I apologize. It's going to be a busy day, I can tell. I do have an 11 o'clock appointment that I have to take too, so I got to keep an eye on the timeline. Sabrina, will you keep an eye on me? It gets around 10:30. I should probably get off here, but I wanted to come in here. Silver breaks $100, and yeah, the old Trump coin. Boy, never thought the president of the POTUS of the United States to put out a meme coin, and that shows the state of the union right now. I'm not giving advice on these, altcoins, but, this might not be a big to take, and put into the coin markets. Everything's going to be tokenized eventually. The whole system's going that way. Again, they already took the penny away from us. Trump contacted the Secretary of Treasury and said, stop minting the penny, so here we go. This is a time where, again, I've talked about this time for at least a decade or more on YouTube. So that right there is a penny. It's nickel and copper. The cladding on it is nickel and copper. So this is about 8% nickel, and I've been telling you to save your nickels. 91% copper. You know what I'm saying? So there we go, guys. I hope that some of us are looking at what's going on, going, well, Pastor's been talking about this since America Ever After, Truth Viral Television, Silver's Like Gold, Predestined for Light. How many channels do I have here on YouTube where I told people, take your hard-earned dollars and put it into something that can't inflate away your currency. You know what I'm saying? Look at this goat. Get goat out of here. Goat doesn't know what he's talking about. So these markets go up and down. My son told me to buy when I was going to go buy and sold a motor home. I had $3,000. He told me to go buy 10 of the coins. And at the time they were Bitcoin at $300 a coin. And I didn't listen to him. Now I researched it and I know what they are. You don't have any anonymity. You know what I'm saying? No, they're only 35% what's that? Abner, they're only 35%. Your war nickels are 42 to 45. And I don't think the weight, no, a quarter. Yesterday I went by the pawn shop where I know that I didn't get to buy anything. I don't have any money, but I'm kind of actually going to try to get this property on the grid now. So I'm looking at a 12 by 60 job trailer, and I think it's gonna. He wants 25,000 for it. I don't think he's gonna take any less than 17 or $18,000, and it's probably going to cost at least $30,000+ to get myself on the grid. So maybe there'll be somebody who's, I'm not saying, because what goes around comes around. I ain't grifting anybody. You work hard for your money. I don't want your money. There's a Cash App and PayPal. If anything I say is value, you can do that. This channel's demonetized. They've taken away the monetization of this channel, and I'd only make about $2 a month on YouTube from. It's not like I make money off this channel. So people have made hundreds of thousands of dollars because of, hey, look at this, precious metals. Maybe somebody will come back and say, hey, that guy gave us some pretty sound, economic information, and let's help that guy out. So you don't have to. I'm not grifting you. I earn what I have. Nothing stolen on this property. I work really hard. I've had people take from me, but that's in the past. Like me, I'm a soldier. Knock my teeth out of my head, I'm gonna put them back in my head. I'm gonna get back on my horse and ride, and that's what I always do. So, but I can't imagine again how many people listened and said, "Boy, he's got a lot of information." He's obviously stored in his head. He's been in this market for a long time. Honey, well, let's help that guy out. So I don't know. People do it, and a thing with tithing, because that's a tithe. You don't say anything. You do it. You're not doing it to gain and, oh, look what I gave. And I did have somebody, I don't have a lot of, because I had to sell all my precious metals to get some legal counsel and take care of some legal things. And, somebody gave the largest contribution to this ministry, and I put those dimes in at $2.10 a dime. When I went by the pawn shop yesterday just to look at the markets, they wanted $98 an ounce for their ounces. Those dimes are $7 a dime. So a war nickel's a dime. Okay, a war nickel 42 to 45 is not $7. A dime is $7, guys. A silver dime pre-64 is $7. And that's not even what today's price is when silver hits $100, and they buy below spot and sell right at spot or near. Remember, so. Now those same quarters, remember I was trying to get people to buy quarters when they were $3 and $4, under $5. That same quarter is $17.50 a quarter right now for a silver quarter. So I'm hoping again, some people took my information, didn't sell the whole house and didn't, sell everything and max out their credit cards, just cost average, went out and bought, and they're reaping the benefits. And I know that some people will never sell their silver, never sell their gold, and that sucks because you're never gonna. It's just like you didn't even buy it. Then what? You got money and you just let it sit there. Take some profit. It's never wrong to take profit. Maybe you're waiting for $300. See, I don't care about the price. I'm a ratio guy. I pay attention to ratios. During the COVID, it got up to 125 ounces. Some people are trading out right now, out of their silver into gold. 10 months ago, you probably could have got 100 ounces for 1 ounce of gold. That might have been a better time to do it. But if it's going to keep going up, that's up to you. Again, I don't want to give any economic advice as we talk about silver and gold on this. You do with your hard-earned dollars what you think you should do. But I'm telling you, it's never wrong to pull profit. I can tell you that 100%. So hopefully some people will take some profit and go take their lady out to, on that honeymoon that you never got to take, again, that remodel on the house that you've been wanting to do, you bought in at $12. Now it's $100. Might not be a bad time to pull some of that profit out. Never sell your whole stack. Find an exit point. That's the best thing you can do. I put out a video on my Silver's Like Gold channel. That's the backup channel. If you're not subscribed to that channel, you can, this channel goes down, and it's happened for a little bit before it comes back up. Go subscribe to Silver's Like Gold. I said I put out one of the best economic silver and gold, advice back then. I'm not giving any now, because figure out where you want to exit the market and then exit then. Stop thinking about price. If you want to make a certain amount of money, you got in at $10 and you want to make $90 a coin. Well, now's the time. Now's the time. Stop thinking about when you're going to get. Nobody can pick a top of the market. Nobody's that good. Even some of the best economic advisors cannot pick a top. It's not possible. What happened is we've seen silver been manipulated for over 180 years. They've pulled that ball down, beach ball, underneath the water. So the higher they pull it down, the higher it's going to come out. And I think that's what we're starting to see. Same thing. The higher it goes up, the faster it's going to crash down. And that's what we've seen the market do, is almost straight up. So $50 silver would freak out everybody who bought it at $100 and go sell it because they think it's going to crash. They don't know enough about the market. So figure out your exit point. Figure out when you have made enough money and get out. And again, don't sell your whole stack, but get out there. You know, if you know you wanted to make $1,000 and you bought in at $10, you know, well, what does silver got to be to make that exit point? What is your exit strategy? That's really the hardest thing to do, is when are you going to sell your precious metals, you know? And some people are never, because they don't understand the markets, you know. This is probably one of the coolest pieces of silver. I don't have a lot of it. One of the coolest pieces of silver I own. It's a chub. I used to have this in a gold Perth mint. I actually like this one better than the gold one. I really do. I'm a silver bug, not a gold bug. So I don't own any gold. I had to sell my 5 ounces of gold at $3,000 an ounce. And look at it now. That's that job trailer that I need right now. But it is what it is. If Father wanted me to have it, you know, I'd have it, and that's fine, you know. But these are the same amount, guys, same amount. Hard to believe that's the same amount. I put this in somebody's hand yesterday because I had to go get, I bought myself another headlamp, guys, yesterday. I bought myself another headlamp. Remember, I had, you know, mine took a dump. Look at that nice headlight or headlamp. I did. I need it. Woo! So I like this. This doesn't have that sliding, you know, and it's got a rechargeable battery. I'm off the grid out here, so I need this out here. I live out in the middle of the dark in the largest sky sanctuary. Are you still doing realty investment? No, I don't do any realty. You know, I think we're going to see a major crash. If you really want to go to somebody who I think gives really good economic advice, go see Economic Ninja. Go see the Ninja here on YouTube. He is on the markets. He understands. He made his first million in his 20s. I've never had $1 million. I don't live like that. You know, I just don't. And most of the time people take my precious metals from me because I tell them where it's at. So don't tell anybody where your precious metals is at, and you'll never go. But go see Economic Ninja. He's outstanding. Yeah, that's 3,000 lumens. So it is really cool. This was $49.99, but the price went up to $59.99. That was the so we're what I did is I went in there because my phone screen, brothers, sisters, is broken, and I drove all the way into town, and they don't want to replace it because my battery is actually wafering. This is they said that's a ticking time bomb. So if this phone blows up on my face, it'll probably be the last live stream that I do. They said that phone is about ready to go. You know, it's wafer. That's what keeps pulling off my screen. But I went and drove in a couple hours to Bend yesterday, and I had to make it worth my time and get something. And they said my battery, they will not replace the screen because my battery's too far and it didn't come with a battery. So I had to buy another battery. So when it rains, it pours. That's the way my life is. But everybody kind of gets a different, you know, stroke in this, you know, whatever in this life. But mine seems to be a little bit tougher than some's, but it doesn't matter. Again, I just keep, you know, doing what it is that I do. So I went in there and I had to buy another battery. That's why I could, you know, the phone, the battery, the screen. I just spent money that I didn't want to yesterday, and I got to go back to town whenever they get in it. So that battery in, but this was $59.99, and the guy gave me, he said, you know, it's still in my system as $49.99. And I asked for, you know, I said, you guys do veteran discount because I'm a veteran? And he said, yeah. So I said, man, I should have asked on my phone screen, you know, because I have an older phone, guys, and I'm not going to get the 4G phone. I went by Verizon, too, to see if I can get a replacement phone, and they don't have any more 4G phones. So I don't want 5G technology. I don't want it. I've talked about it in here. I'm not going to go off on that. But he gave me this for $49.99 plus the $5 off for the 10% discount. I got it for $44. That's expensive for me. Too rich for my blood. But I need this. I have to have this. I have to have this. Like I said, I've been using batteries on that other one. It's just not worth it. So and this one recharges. It's got a charging port. So thank you, Father, to be able to, you know, have enough money to purchase this. And there's the charging port. So I can charge it off of the C charger. So heck yeah, Pastor got a new headlamp, and I need this out here. So I'm glad I worked, you know, for what I have and had the money to buy it. It's way more than I would normally ever spend, but you know, the last one lasted quite a bit. This one, I think this one is magnetic too, but I'm not going to stick it to the side anymore. That's what happened is I dropped it. It was my fault. You guys are going to go open the door. I got the heater going in here, and let me open the door. Got the wood stove going. You didn't ever get out of bed there, Juniper girl? It snowed out here in the desert. Let's go show you guys real quick. We got a little snow out here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would pay for it in batteries. Not everything is frosty out here. Boy, it was frosty yesterday, but here's a shot of the desert here. So it snowed out here. So we got snow on the ground. I haven't let the ladies out because I don't want them walking around on the snow. So got a little snow out here. Not much. Hopefully it'll melt off. Didn't melt off in front of the cabin very much, but we still got the ladies inside the hen house there. So a little snow in the desert. Not much. A little sprinkling. I know back east. Boy, it's a lot worse back east, isn't it? So we'll go back inside the cabin here. This is my semi trailer that I've converted over to a home here. And oh, we had a piece of or a paint can behind the door. So but anyways, not giving any economic advice in this video. Hope you're saving your pennies. Again, remember, a quarter is 91% copper. Copper is obviously, they made it a critical metal, as well as silver on November 11th, 2025. So critical metal. Trump said that silver is national security. They need it, guys. This is the lifeblood of the military-industrial complex. Save silver and save lives. That's right. 499 doesn't make 500. I think they put 500 of these in the tip of a smart missile, and a Patriot missile to get off the ground and make it to its target, and then they blow it up. So all these data mining centers, again, they use the gold or the silver. It's not like they're putting it in a phone and you can recover it out of the phone. It gets used up. So there has been a silver deficit for the last 6 years of 200 to 300 million ounces less. That's in demand. So as that silver supply shrinks, it's getting harder and harder to take it out of the ground. It costs, you don't just put up a mining, company. It can take, with permitting and putting the whole build out, it could take more than a decade. It can take up to 2. So we're not just going to take and start producing more silver. And actually, we've kind of picked all that low-hanging fruit. And that means that it's going to get harder and harder. So I do think we'll see silver continue to rise because there's less and less silver and more demand for silver. The photovoltaics went from 1 ounce of silver to 2.5 ounces of silver. I heard that new electric battery that they have, for the EV, it goes 800 miles, takes 32 ounces. What are you doing, puppy? 32 ounces of silver for that battery. At $100, that's $3,200, brothers and sisters. That's a pretty expensive battery, if you ask me. What are you doing, boy? Got Mr. Bone here coming high to say to the dad. What are you doing? He went to town with Dad yesterday. He went for a ride, and he was a good boy. So I got to get the front end of that. All right, get up there. I got to get the front end of that 4Runner. It's starting to click. I can't believe I took it into the Toyota dealership and it's starting to make some clicking noise when I turn hard on to the left. So preventive maintenance, I'm a veteran. I'm going to have to go in there and take it back to the Toyota dealership, and they do the best work in town. So I love this guy. He's such a good guy. He was such a good boy yesterday. He was such a good guy yesterday. We love our Bobo. So again, not giving you any economic advice. Silver hits $100. Here we go, off to the races. I think silver at $100. You're going to be wishing you'd sold some of those extra video games, or you got a bunch of stuff laying around the house you don't use, and sell it on eBay, have a garage sale or whatever, and put it in something that's they can't inflate away. That's what we see. They're printing $1 trillion every 100 days. So what an amazing time to be a witness, man. I wish my son was around and I could talk to him, and I actually had a dream about him yesterday or last night, which is, I don't normally dream, and it was really alarming for me. I woke up, my heart was pounding, but it was good to see him in my dreams. But it would be awesome if he was here right now, because I talked about this time again where I thought silver would break out, and maybe he's in a good spot and he's been working hard, because he is a hard worker, and somehow God has him under his wing and protecting him, and he's getting to be a witness to this. Even though it's tough times right now, it's there is opportunity. About it's everywhere. So, and I sure miss my daughter too, and I had a dream about both of them. So, what an exciting time. People again are hopefully doing well. That when I've been telling them to buy these buffaloes was my preference at $12, $13, $14, $15, $16, $18, $20. I know the neighbor bought in at a good rate, and good for him. I hope he's can do something with it, doesn't just sit on it. Like I said, it's never wrong to pull profit. Maybe I'll throw some gravel down on the driveway or something, make a nice driveway out here. That'd be nice. Whatever. I'm not going to make anybody do anything. Like I said, you can't make people you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can lead a person to knowledge, but you can't make them think. So most people can't think very well for themselves when it comes to things. When the market on silver is $900 billion, we're talking about less than $1 trillion market cap. It's a teeny tiny market. It's just tiny. Oligos, it's a fraction of the market. So again, 3 quadrillion derivatives, $900 billion market, one less than 1 trillion. Imagine if just a fraction of that moved into the precious metal sector, into silver, we would probably see $300 to $500 silver overnight. That could happen. Don't think it can. Everybody told me I was crazy for all those years. I'm not so crazy now, am I? Kind of have my Noah moment, huh? So I'm considering whether to pull some profit. I don't have a lot right now. Remember, I lost 40 pounds of it not that long ago in gold, but I have a little bit, but I really would like to get that. I'm concerned. I talked with a neighbor because he put his property on the grid, that this building won't pass the inspection that they want because it doesn't have an engineered spec on it, but maybe they will. He seems to think it would, but I found that building up in town that they want 25,000. It's actually 12 by 60. It's a lot larger than I think it was. I didn't get a really good, I didn't want to waste the guy's time that was there, but it's 12 by 60 and it's an office building. So it doesn't have any plumbing, doesn't have any bathrooms, doesn't have any kitchen. It would need some work, but it's got a heat pump. And I'm thinking that he would maybe take $16,000 or $17,000 for it. That's a big cut. Maybe he won't, but I think if I had that, it would I could get this property on the grid. And remember, it's not for me, it's for the ministry. So I'm considering, selling the metal I have. I don't have that, I don't have that kind of money right now, even in precious metals, but maybe it's a good time to, like I said, it's never wrong to pull profit. And so I know I could get that building to pass and they would approve me. So I know that I can't get, outstanding. Well, cool. Good for you, Joe. You want to buy a building for the ministry? You want to buy a building for the ministry? Go on Christmas Valley or go on the Facebook Marketplace. And you don't have to, Joe. I'm not grifting you. There's a building that I'm looking, at. And again, I was thinking about this morning. I was thinking, man, Silver's getting $100. And how many people have made a ton of money off of some good economic information? I'm not giving advice, but there's a building out here that I'd like to get for the ministry. It has 2 classrooms on the outside and or 2 office buildings. It's an office job trailer. Maybe somebody will say, hey, I was wait till Silver hit 100. I'm going to help that guy out. I've made a ton of money on it. And again, if not, I'll do it on my own. I work hard for what I have. I don't take anything from anybody. I'm not a thief, and that's not, hopefully, again, people are reaping the benefits of listening to the channel. For 12 years, I've been on YouTube. I've put in tens of thousands, probably more hours, here trying to help other people. I'm a service to other being. That's what I need to do, is learn to stay in my own lane and stop trying to help everybody out. Because when I do that, it ends up kind of biting me in the butt. But no bad taste in my mouth. I'm not grifting you. Maybe somebody will. Like I said, if not, I'll scratch it out on my own. So, but I know that building will pass inspection, because I don't want to run any hiccups out here. I don't think that they'll pass this tractor trailer. It's too old. It's a 73. And I talked to the neighbor. He's like, but you told me you can get a shipping container. I said, yeah, but that's a little bit different. What I built out here is a little bit different. So I'll figure it out. One way or another. I want this property on the grid in the next 3 or 4 months. I really do. I've got to have it on the grid. I want to have this property for the grid. That way I can bring people out here without any issues. People could come out here, and I'm going to go right back to, again, I joined the military at 17 years old. So you can't tell me not to serve people. At 17 years old, I was willing to give up this flesh for the cause. And as a pastor, who ministers this gospel, hopefully people find value at that and don't ever have to give anything. But one day I hope that people could come out here and enjoy this beautiful 20-acre property out here. That we had the Northern Lights out here the other day, and they were purples and reds, and this is the largest dark sky sanctuary. So I'm going to go back to trying to help people, because that's what I do. I can't help myself. Even if I say I'm not, I will. Look at me in here doing this video, so I got that all taken care of. I mean, they didn't do what I wanted, but it's okay. I'm going to try to put that behind me and just keep working on doing what it is that I do out here. Stay in my own lane. Stop trying to help people. People can, make money off my back, but that's fine. It is what it is. I'm not going to worry about things I can't change. I'm going to stay focused. Again, I'm a soldier. I'm a veteran. I get knocked off my path, I go right back on it. I get knocked off my horse, my teeth fall out of my head, I put my teeth back in my face, and I ride again. So that's the kind of man I am. Over and over, Father beats me down, and I'm not mad at anybody right now. Nobody, except for myself, for not staying more focused, on my own things. That's my problem. I had my family tell me at 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, stop trying to help everybody else out. Your biggest problem is you're always helping other people out, and your own, areas you lack. And so at 16, 17 years old, I joined the military. I said, you guys are nuts. I want to help other people. You can't tell me I can't help people. That's just the way Father designed me to be. So, I want to see some more people come out and enjoy this ministry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't see Northern Lights in Texas, and Venezuela. And, so we live in a very interesting time, but again, I'm hoping people today will just give me a thought. I don't want their money, but just go, man, that guy talked about that forever. And it's here now, $100 silver. Is a beautiful thing, because now people can do some improvements on their house, go buy the double cab Tacoma, put some gravel on the driveway, do things like that, put in power on their property. So I think the only thing I'm not going to do immediately, obviously, is dig the well. The well's quite expensive, and I have a well drilling kit. So I think if I can put the septic in, I think the septic is going to cost me about $10,000. to do total. The power is going to cost even less than I thought. If I don't do, it might cost me an extra because I have a 400 amp breaker that I purchased. I have the conduit. You have to buy their wiring, but I found the neighbor who he follows the ministry, and I think he's going to help me dig all the trenches out here, which is a considerable amount of money. I'm going to trade him for some stuff out here. He said I have some things out here that he'd like, specifically some block that I bought, I purchased years ago. It's beautiful. It's like a mocha block that I have, cinder block, and he needs that to put his single wide on. And so he said he wants to help me. So, and I know he's a man of his word. So he'll help me pick up some of the cost and help me get it dug, and I need to do it soon because they pull their wiring. You have to buy their wiring. You have to buy their wiring. That's what he said. I can't buy my own wiring. You have to buy their wiring. I can buy the conduit, which I believe I have. I'm having to come over and look at what I have. I have the breaker box. I have the 400 amp breaker box for the power. So I'm probably looking at maybe 5,000 to put the power in. I thought it would be at least more than double that. So 5,000 for the power, 10,000 probably for the septic. Then there's inspection. It's $500 to pull the, it's called a conditional use permit, a CUP. And then you have to have a $750 inspection on they dig 3 test holes because they need to see how far your leach lines need to go out. And I think I'm in a good area where it might not cost me as much. And he told me again about some other leach lines that are more expensive, but I don't have to put the compaction, gravel, put the the leach lines in, and then put more gravel. This is something you can just dig out, put in, and cover it up. So it's going to cost more for the leach lines. The tank is, what did he say? The septic tank. No, they have to have the wiring. You can put the conduit, you can dig the ditch, you can put your pole up, you can put your breaker box on it. You have to actually put a string. You put a string so they can, and you run the string through your conduit, and then they pull their wiring and hook it up to the power pole. So I'm nearly right in front of a power pole. So that's why I'd really like to get that building, because I think that building will have no problems passing an inspection. It's 1990. If you want to see the building that I'm looking at, that I'm trying to get, it's on the Facebook Marketplace. It's a job trailer. It's in Prineville is what it says, but it's actually sitting out here. And I think that's why I might be able to cut a little bit cost. If that guy doesn't need to haul it from Prineville, he can just haul it right down. It's probably 4 or 5 miles, 6 miles from probably where I'm at. Probably won't have any additional costs. That'll save me. He wants $25,000 for it. It's 12 by 60. It's a job trailer, so it doesn't have any plumbing. It has electric, but it doesn't have any plumbing. It has a heat pump. So I could do the plumbing. I can run Apex, nothing dumber than a plumber, to see if anybody's in plumbing, but I can do that. And so I'm excited to get this property on the grid. That way I have an address and I can bring people out here without having any issues. You know what I'm saying? To come visit, come hang out, be a part of the ministry if they want to choose to do so. Here I go, but my future tense is in the future. I need to, again, stay in my own lane and work hard. Although right now I have some major issues. I broke my back again. I have a L3. I have a compression fracture, and it looks like I'm going to have surgery. I don't want to, but I'm going to probably have to do it. That's why I need to get myself set and stable so that if I can't work for a while, I have somewhere to be a little more sedative, if I can. So, but it's going to take a tremendous amount of work to get there. So finances are going to probably be the biggest issue. Again, this gentleman has a smaller one of those, track hose, smaller ones, not the cheap ones. He bought, one that's like 15,000, not the 3,000. No, they won't even break ground out here. Yep. That's what you do. That's what you do. You run a string, they pull it, you got to buy their wiring. So again, I'm hoping to get that trailer. If you want to see which one I'm talking about, you can go on the Facebook Marketplace, look up job office trailer. It's sitting right out here on Christmas Valley Highway. I don't know. I bought that car from that guy. The transmission isn't working, and I've been trying to get him to come out here and see if he'll make better on that, because I kind of got screwed on that, and I don't think he will. And I had that car sold the other day and pulled it out to the road, and the transmission just stopped working. So I'm going to ask him. He's a man of God. He's a man of God. I really like him. And, that might be another $1,000. So hopefully I can put this together. Again, if you add the power pole, maybe $5,000 or $6,000 to put the power in, probably 10 or 12 for the septic, and maybe another $1,500 in inspections and conditional use permit. If this building would pass, I'd be okay. But I just have a sneaking suspicion they're not going to pass this building. It's just, maybe they will. So he seems to think they will. He's going to help me on the excavation, which is a tremendous amount of cost to have somebody come out and dig for you. So he'll help me there. We'll do some trading, some horse trading, which will be good. So it's looking like the only thing that I really need to try to really focus on right now is trying to get another building out here. And I found that building, and I think it'd be excellent because it's something I can work with. I could add plumbing later. I have a composting toilet for now that I can use. I think they might just let me stay in this building until I can put the other building out. So I'm not sure, maybe if silver hits $200 or $300 or so, that seems like a long way away that I'd be able to pull it off, because I just don't have that much silver. I just don't. I have to spend all my silver. Uh-oh. Man, I keep getting so many calls today. You guys, it's probably nobody's answered. I've gotten 3 calls today and nobody's answered. So give me a minute. I'll be right back with you. No answer. That's the 3rd call today where it's somewhere in Oregon. Somebody keeps calling me, but they won't answer. They don't say anything. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I said, it's in the air right now. I can tell it's in the air. So, but I need to do this for the ministry. I need to put a building out here. I need to be on the grid. I don't want any issues with having to, because I'm not on the grid, and that, they can tell me I need to leave. I don't have anywhere to go. You've seen that the other day when I live stream. I don't have anywhere to go. There's nowhere for me to go. So I just don't have that option. So I need to make this. I should have done it years ago, but I spend my money on everything else, on other people, and it's just what I do. So now it's time to focus and stay in my own lane. And then again, it'll all just be part of the ministry. I'm not buying this for me. Like I said, that's a 12 by 60 building. That means a couple people could come out here and, be a part of the ministry later. And I think it will happen. I think once I get the, I don't know, I'm not even paying attention right now. They did no trespass, his friend. So I don't want any issues. Yesterday, something came in the mail. He ordered a part for his solar that he missed, and I met him out at the road and gave it to him. So hopefully it'll level itself out. I'm hoping he'll stay in his lane. He was cordial with me and thanked me, and I said, thank you. It's okay. So hopefully it'll all work out. Like I said, I don't want any issues. And as I was talking with a neighbor up the road, that maybe in the future, if he sees me working on this property, it'll inspire him. He's made a good substantial gain. I need to keep that out of my mouth. It is what it is. And maybe he'll get inspired and he'll do the same thing. I asked him to. I told him one of us need to do this so that if something happens and they say you got to go, you can come over here. I told him that prior to that, that's what I said here. I said, if they say, hey, you can't be here because some inspection or something, they do something out here. I told him he could come over here. You know what I'm saying? But he's got plenty of funds now. He can do it on his own. So I don't need to, no, he won't. He won't give a dime. I know he won't. I just know he won't. And that's fine. I shouldn't say that, but I don't think so. He hasn't even put one load of gravel down for $250. not one. And I said, I'll put one down, you put one down. I'll put one down, you put one down. Not ever, remember? So that's it is what it is. I'm not talking smack. I just don't see. I think he'll just sit on it forever. I don't think he'll pull any profit, and that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, and I don't want to say anything negative, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe it'll inspire him to do it. He could have everybody do it and have it done in a country minute. He has enough to put a beautiful home on here and gravel the whole driveway and pay to have a well dug and not lift a finger. That much gains. I don't want to give his gains. I already have on his precious metals easily, but I'm gonna have to scratch it all out the hard way, trade and horse trade and probably sell what precious. I don't want to sell these precious metals, but I don't care. I remember my son told me to sell them and I didn't, and they got taken. So I don't want to hold on to them. If I can do this, I'm going to sell what I have. The neighbor told me up the road, he's like, please don't sell your metals, man. I know you don't have very much, so please don't hold on to them. They're going to be worth so much more. I said, I don't care. I don't care. I got to do this for the ministry. So 60 feet, there's water 60 feet, underneath me. And I'm not going to do the well right now. I'm not going to do the well. I have water tanks. I need to do the septic and the electric. I need to do the septic and the electric. So I need a building. I found a building, and that's why I'm going to try to, I'm pretty low on possessions. Remember, I've sold quite a few things. I'd like to get that Ford up and going. I just don't have anybody. I asked him if he was interested. He's like, I don't, I really don't. I'm not. He already has a Ford. He's got plenty of vehicles. So I have some other things out here that I purchased, some beautiful Mesa block and stuff. I think there's probably at least 400 of those Mesa block. And I think he'll probably trade for a couple hundred or a few hundred. I probably won't have the ones that I need, but if it'll get me dug, a lot of this cost is digging, the trench for the power. And then I appreciate somebody gave a cash app. It's probably my regular. So I have somebody gives $1 cash app. I appreciate. Hey, you don't have to. Okay, guys. I don't want anybody to say I'm a grifter. I give everything. I give and I get taken from. So I'm only doing it for the ministry. So again, that's my thoughts today. I have I feel horrible. I do. I don't really feel very good, but I'm trying to lift my spirits up that for 10 to 12 years I've been on YouTube. If somebody had listened to me 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 8 years ago, they could have got in and be doing really well. I have a neighbor that should be doing perfect right now. That should have gravel all the way down that driveway. He wouldn't even have put a dent in his gains. You know what I'm saying? I think he'd do it for himself, but he just, I don't know. Maybe it will. That's what I'm saying. I need to get going, and maybe he'll be inspired by it, and go, man, I kind of want to do the same thing. And as I told him, man, one of us need to get on the grid here. You got 20, I got 20. We're butted up right next to each other. Neither of us on the grid. If they come in here and they do something because of housing and start sweeping people out of here and going, hey, unless you're on the grid, you can only be here 2 weeks. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anywhere to go. You know what I'm saying? So, I need to have a home. That was kind of, I'm saying, I don't want to get kicked out of here. If I had somewhere to go, that would be different. It's like I can take a little bit of the money I have and maybe go get, an apartment or a house or something, but then I'm just going to be paying somebody else's, and that's not going to, this is my home. I know it's the ministries, but this is my home. There's plenty of room where I could put a home here of my own and still have people out here, and help out other people as well. So I need to do this. That's why I told him months ago, we need to focus on this. We need to focus. One of us need to be on the grid. That way, if something happens, they come out and go, hey, everybody that's been here for, more than 2 weeks, we're sending you something through the mail and you got to get out of here. I won't have anywhere to go, so I need to have a home. I don't want my home taken from me. I know, Ryan, I appreciate that. But remember, I got animals and stuff, and I appreciate that. And you are in Oregon, and I think, but, we all have to have a base, you know what I'm saying? And if this is just a matter of money, I need to scratch this out. Like I said, look at the gains that, 40 pounds of silver was taken from me. We know who took that, and gold. Okay. And then I feel like Father took from me when I spent that money on that attorney, $25,000. I could have done this. I could have done this. Instead, it got me where it got me. So um, that's hard. Remember, and that just those 5 ounces of gold that I had would pay for that building right now. I could go over there and offer it and pull it over here, even without my inspection. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah. So I need to have a home. I need to have a place. No, I appreciate it. That I can call home, and it's not like Ryan. Like I said, I've lived with people before, and I normally don't have an issue because I carry my own weight. Nobody's got to pick up after me. I put the toilet seat down. I wash dishes. I don't know. I'm not going to be a burden. If I ever had to live with somebody, nobody has to tell me to pick up behind them. I don't understand why people take advantage of people like that when they're nice enough to invite them in their home and they don't even carry their own weight. You know, I would expect if somebody came, I shouldn't expect anything, but somebody came on my property, should never have to look after them. Shouldn't have to clean up after you. If anything, you should be adding to what is already here, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I would never move in with somebody and not uh, carry my own weight. Can I sleep in that little closet over there? I don't need much space. My animals take more than I. They demand they use more water than I use. They probably eat more food on a regular basis than I eat, and so I have a really small footprint. Okay, but I need a place where nobody can kick me off. And I can be here and say, hey, this is my place. This is my base. It might not be perfect, but it's somewhere where nobody can run me around and take advantage of me and do something like that to me. I mean, I'm not saying you would. I'm just saying a lot of people get themselves in a position with people and they move in with somebody and it just turns out to be a nightmare, yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I do, but I need a base, somewhere where I can call home and, all this is home right now. It's going to require more to stay here. I just know it in the future. There's going to be a lot of things that this administration, I'm not doing politics, is getting very tyrannical. It is. It's going to get, and there's going to be a big push for people to come out here. When this stock market drops, there's going to be a huge amount of people come out here in tents and travel trailers. And that's when I think they're going to do the crackdown in this valley. They've tried. The reason why I think it's going to happen out here is when they do their, when they go around and do how many people are in the area, you know what I'm saying? What do they call that? A census? There's literally thousands of people out here who won't fill out the census. This is what I think is going to happen. That's why I told Kevin, he said, Tracy, I didn't think you were ever going to, I thought I could stay out here forever. I said, well, Kevin, things have changed, man. The dynamics, the economics of our country are changing dramatically. And so if that happens and it pushes a bunch of people out here, there's going to be a whole bunch of people out here off the grid, the people who weren't on the census. And these people in this county, they still have satellite imagery. You know what I'm saying, Ryan? They got satellite imagery. And so they know who's out here. They're just not doing anything about it, choosing not to enforce it. That's going to change. I just know it. I'm not a prophet. I just pay attention to the cycle. So as this next downturn comes, all those people who are living in Bend and Portland and Corvallis and Eugene and Oregon City and Medford, they're going to come to a place like this because they have no other option. It's just so affordable out here. So people are going to take what they have and come out here, and just because of sheer, they can buy the land, come out here and pitch a tent if they have to. It'll be better than being in a city where they can't keep up with their finances. So it'll be the smart people who get out before it's too late and get stuck and then have nothing and then are stuck in a shelter. They'll cash their chips now, you know what I'm saying? They'll cash out and say, honey, we go out there with $30,000. We can buy a little 5-acre parcel, put a little travel trailer on there. Maybe we can figure out a way to hand dig our own well. But the satellite imagery is going to see them out here. The problem that there is there's so many people out here right now that won't sign the census, and they know they're here. And the next run that comes out, financially with this next downturn is going to drive 10 times as many people that ever came out. That's when I think they're going to crack down out here. I already want to be on the grid by then. I don't want to be on the grid. It's not like I want to be on the grid. It's not a matter of what I want anymore. Life's not Burger King, remember? You can't have it your way. I have to do this. Again, I'm not a prophet. I just see the cycles. And this next economic downturn is going to drive twice as many people that are out here now will come out here almost in a matter of a couple months. And I think we're going to see that downturn right at the beginning of the second quarter of this year. Maybe not, hopefully not, but I'm pretty certain that we're going to see a major reevaluation in our system. And by then, I want to be here on the grid and not worry about it and go, well, I'm not one of those people that has to worry about it, you know. And I feel that I wronged myself by always trying to help everybody else out in the past. It's time to help myself out so I don't get thrown out on the streets. And then I can help people then. Then I can take in more people. Maybe be a few people from the ministry, you know, say, well, come here. Just like you're offering me, you know, and say, come here. You could come here. I've got plenty of room. There's 20 acres. We've got other buildings, outbuildings. You can temporarily stay in them. We'll move you around, you know, and it'll all work out. So I'm excited to, I woke up this morning with a little bit different feeling. I didn't sleep but a couple hours, and that's okay. The dream of Elijah and Adriana just set me into a kind of a flat spin. It hurt my heart. I haven't seen him in so long that when I saw him in my dreams, my heart was in shambles because they didn't see me. And then at the end of my dream, I walked in the door and I saw Adriana. I said, Adriana, do you see me? And she said, yeah, but you're not here. And my heart just, when I woke up and I was a shadow. I was looking at myself and I was a shadow. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, we're not anywhere close to DSW. I don't think we've even seen, you know, is this the bottom or is this just the beginning of a long bull cycle? So I think this is just the beginning. Again, $100 silver, you will be wishing that you got in at $100. I mean, I've been saying that. I think $100 silver is cheap. I've been asking, you got a herd of buffaloes? So again, I don't do karma. My dad never said the word karma to me, but he told me what goes around comes around. So I feel as if Father will take care of this for me. He will call out to somebody's heart saying, you know, that pastor, that gentleman, before he had the ministry, before he had these channels, and he was telling people to buy at 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 30, 40, even before it hit 50, and they didn't take it as economic advice. They took it as sound economic information and said, honey, we need to position ourselves. We need to position ourselves now. He is right. Look at the economic cycles that he's talking about. He puts out a ton of information. Let's help him out. So I feel as if somebody will help him out, right? That would be me. Well, remember, there's been a lot of people who've made a lot of gains off of my information. So if not, I'm willing to scratch it out myself. I'll do it. It's just going to be harder for somebody like me who helps other people, and it ends up kind of biting me in the butt. But that's okay. Now it's time to help myself. I need a home where I can't be kicked out of here. I need a home where nobody can tell me to leave. And they could tell me to leave right now. I'm not on the grid. I'm only supposed to be here 2 weeks out of the year, you know, and I've been here for 10 years. So I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen to this ministry. I want to be able to help people out in the future. So I do have a strong intuition that it's going to happen, whether I have to do it or somebody comes in and says, hey, this guy has been doing YouTube for 12 years. Look how many hundreds of thousands, you know, I don't know how many hours that I've done. And I've helped people to try to position themselves to get ahead of things. That's all I try to do. It's called preventive maintenance. That's all I'm trying to do right now. Before I see the next economic downturn, which I think is coming. I mean, the markets are more overvalued right now than they were in the 20s at the Great Depression, the crash in the 20s, you know, and that was a planned cycle, you know, by these big banksters. So I see it coming. $49,000. It's ridiculous how much money is in the market. So the next downturn, I want to be ready, and I don't want to be thrown off this property because I'm not on the grid, because I'm an off-gridder. Okay, enough is enough. I've enjoyed 10 years of being off the grid out here. I've got my a whole, decade of being off the grid. Now it's time to position myself where I don't put myself in a position where I can be thrown out of here. Makes sense. So if I put in my septic, I put in my power, I can stay here. But I need a building. So that's why I'm kind of overpriced a little bit. I don't think they'll pass this building. Rick seems to think they will, but I don't. The neighbor, because he was recently did this, I don't think. But he has a single wide that he bought. That's newer than, this isn't a single wide. This is a semi-tractor trailer, so it's not a spec building. I found one that, like I said, I know that they'll pass. I went and looked at the badge. It says 1990. They'll pass it, no problem. And it's a bigger building than I thought it was. I thought it was 10 by 50. It's 12 by 60. It's got 2 offices on the outside and a big open section. It doesn't have any plumbing. I'd have to plumb it, but that's not the end of the world. It does have a heat pump on it. So say that if I have power, I could hook into the heat. I'd put a wood stove in there. I don't want to use their power. Minimally I will, but now I get a freeze dryer out here. Like, I'm backing up on eggs a little bit already. I just made hard-boiled eggs today. I think I might have toasted those water glass eggs because I broke some eggs inside the if you're looking for places to buy, Atmex, JM, if you're a veteran, they give you a veteran discount if you'll send in your paperwork, your DD-214, SD Bullion, SD Sierra Delta, JM Bullion, Juliet Mike, okay, Money Metals Exchange, Monument Metals, gold and silver at Mike Muller Provident Metals. There's a reputable dealer. They're not going to sell you fakes, guys. This is their business. Thank you. Provident Metals is a reputable online dealer. Golden State Mint. Ryan and I bought a little bit of copper. We're looking pretty good on those copper rounds, huh? 207 and now 614, huh? So, and they finally shipped my rounds, guys. I didn't think I was going to get them. They finally shipped my rounds. I didn't think I was going to get them. There was a hang-up. Actually was on the phone with him yesterday on that order from Ryan, that Ryan helped me out. So beautiful gold, copper rounds. That I bought some from before and past. So please be careful when purchasing online right now. There are so many fakes out there. There are so many new companies that pop up online that I've seen. I would stay away from all of them. Go with the ones that have been in business for 15, the ones I just gave you, you're not going to get a fake. And then develop a relationship with your local coin shop so that, God forbid, you ever had to sell them. See, what I was thinking about asking this guy that has this building if he wants to trade for silver. Silver's hot right now. He might just do it. That way he might make up the difference. I say, well, I got about $8,000 or something in precious metals, and I think he'll take 16, something like that. I don't know if I have that much. It was just taking a guesstimation, and I got to think of premiums. But if metal's hot, he might just take it. Go, well, I think silver's going to go up to $300 an ounce. I'll make triple if I just take this guy's silver. But that's why Rick's like, please don't get rid of your silver. Please don't get rid of your silver. Please hold on to it. I'm like, Rick, I got to do this, man. I can't just hold on to it. It gets taken from me every stinking time. So I need to do this, while I can. So that's the, I could get the building maybe right now, but I don't think I could do the others, but I'm going to work towards that. Again, I feel like as if, and I'm not saying anybody has to, but I feel as if somebody's going to donate to this ministry just because of what goes around comes around. My dad always told me that if you put out bad, well, you reap what you sow. Bad will come back. If you put out good, good will come back. So I seriously feel, as I woke this morning, not woke, but, somebody died. Did you have a wake? Good morning. This dialect that I'm using here, but we're just going to keep pushing forward. that somebody will have been listening to me at America Ever After, Truth Bible Television, Silver's Like Gold, Predestined for Light, High Desert Faith. I've been doing this for a dozen years. There had to have been somebody who has listened to me and goes, this is the time, honey. Look at these gains that we've made. Let's do this. And I think it will. It could be a couple. It could be a single person. I just seriously feel as if it's going to happen. Whatever I don't have, Father will make up. And the only reason why I think that I'm going to struggle a little bit, brothers and sisters, is whether you understand or not. I am sitting here and they want to do back surgery. I don't want to, not trying to make you feel bad or anything, but here it is. Here's the paperwork I got in the mail from, this is Asher Medical, showing that they want me to go have surgery. I broke my back again, guys. They want me to go orthopedics and neurosurgery. Orthopedics and neurosurgery. They want me to have surgery. I'm sitting here with a broken back right now as we speak. I have a large compression fracture in my L3. And so here's the paperwork saying you need to go have surgery. Neurosurgery. Surgery. See that? They want me to go have surgery. So it's going to be hard for me to do some of these things. And so I feel as if Father's going to help. Father will. Father will make them do it. I won't make you do anything. You don't have to do anything, but just show up here, be a part of the ministry, produce fruit. You don't ever have to donate a dime, but here we go. I've had this happen before and I ran away. I ran out of the state. Now I can't leave. I can't go anywhere. I was scared. I don't have anybody to take care of my animals. Who's going to take care of me when I'm doing, I don't know how long a back surgery will put me down for. So that's why I need to get this property on the grid. Here's the paperwork showing they want to cut me open and do back surgery on me. So it's hard for me to work an 8-hour day right now. It just is. I am in a severe pain as we speak. My back hurts so bad right now. I can't even explain to you the pain level. I mean, I've had worse pain when I had fluid in the frontal lobes of my brain, but my pain level is probably about 8 to 9 right now on a scale, 8 to 9. And it gets worse. Sometimes it gets worse than this. So I'm probably going to have to break down and do the surgery whether I want to or not. But I can't be out here. That's what broke my back the first time, is I didn't have anybody to help me, and I was pushing myself too hard. So whether I like it or not, I got the thing. They want me to go to St. Charles in La Pine, and last time it was Slocum in Eugene. So I'm going to have back surgery. I don't know if I can make it through this, guys. I was 30 years old last time. I was in my 20s the first time I broke my back in the military. I was in my 30s the second time I broke my back. I'm in my 50s now, guys. I don't think I can push through this anymore. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm strong and healthy. Outstanding. All right. I got my fishing license this year, guys. That's what I need to be doing, is fishing. I need to fish. Look at this, guys. This is garbage. What the heck is up with this? I haven't had a fishing license forever. This is my fishing license. What is this? This is a fishing license now, guys. What is up with that? A piece of paper? How's that a fishing license, guys? That's garbage. State of Oregon needs to correct that, man. What happened to the little card? I was like, where's my little card? They're like, nope, that's your fishing license. So now I folded it all up and put it in a little binder. That's my fishing license, a piece of paper. Come on, guys. You can't tell me that's not going to get wet. You out fishing, So I can't. What do? Laminate the whole piece of paper? I asked him, can I laminate it? He's like, yeah, I guess it's not a problem. It's not like your Social Security card. So I put it in this little wallet thing that I have here, but that's a fishing license. That's what I should be doing out right now, fishing, but I can't. I got too much work to be done, but I can't work for 8 hours doing this pressing work. Remember, I lifted that 400-pound beam, and that's what broke my back. I knew I did it. I told you guys that I've done it before, and I knew that I had done something very serious in this ministry. I told you guys, I think I broke my hip, and I'm pretty sure if I go have my hip x-rayed, they're going to find a large fracture and whatever that's where I still have pain right now. It's just unbearable. It hurts just as much as my back right now. That hip is just as, the pain in that is just as intense. I just don't talk about it, but, you know, okay, cool. Make sure I got about another half an hour here, and I need to get off this. Like I said, I have, uh, as much as I don't want to, I'm looking at get my medicinal card, guys, so that I can use some kind of gummies, eat some gummies just to take the edge off of it. So, because I can't, I think I can use right now some medication, but I don't want to give them any reason and get myself in trouble. So I have applied. Gosh, it's costly too to get your medical card now. You know, I have to pay these people for the office. There's just a lot more cost than the last time I did it too. So it's changed a lot. It used to be through the Department of Human Services. Now it goes through the state, and it's just a lot different. So that's some other costs that I've incurred here recently to get my card. So I like the edibles. I really do. For pain, it's those pineapple gummies that really help me. You know, it takes the edge off so that I can actually work. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of cost, you know, goes involved. But I have an appointment today, and then that's just the start of the process. I've already been doing it for probably about 2 weeks. Remember, I drove all the way over to Eugene. You know, it's getting harder and harder to drive to Bend. When I drove to Eugene, it just killed me, guys. It did. I couldn't believe how much, you know, I've had my CDL since I was 21, you know, for 25, 26 years. That trip to Bend is getting harder and harder to do. It really is. I cannot believe how much sitting down and driving really, well, it's my L3's broken. I'm sitting with a compression fracture on my third vertebrae right now. When I sit for those extended periods of time on that compression fracture, it's painful. Yesterday, man, I had to stop. I had to stop. I couldn't keep going, you know, let the dog out, use the bathroom. But it was too long of a drive. It's getting harder and harder to drive hours at a time, sitting sedentary in that position, and then gas and brake, and, you know, so I need to get myself fixed, you know. So I'm not looking forward to this. I need to get this property on the grid before I have this surgery, period. I might have surgery before the end of the year. I can't do it before then. I don't have the time to, I go down for surgery. I'm not going to get this property on the grid. You know, I have a lot of work to do before then, and I'm having to do it with having, you know, a compression fracture. I told you when I went in there, I asked the lady, can I look at, you know, the x-ray? And I was like, oh no, you know, because the first two have already been busted. And that's the arthritic. It talks about I have a lot of arthritis because of the old injury. It's just money now, Donna. It's money. I went and talked with a neighbor. I need to put the septic in. I need to file for my conditional use permit. That's $500 for the conditional use permit. I have that right now. I talked with the neighbor about getting the septic lines. They have to come out and figure out what my ground is. It depends on how much my ground is. It could be reasonably priced, or if I'm not on the right ground, it could get pretty expensive. You know, it could be either it's $750 for the inspection on the septic, and then it's probably another $3,000 to $4,000, maybe $5,000 at minimum to get to, if it's minimum. If not, it could be another $5,000 to go further out. You know, there's hard pans out here because this is all sitting 500 feet under the water. So all this is compressed into a hard pan. There's actually 2 major hard pans out here. I'm hoping that my dirt is similar as the neighbors and that I'll be able to do the same thing. But if not, it's probably going to cost me twice the money. I'm not going to dig a well. I don't have the money to dig a well right now, but I do have to get the power. And the power probably is going to cost me $5,000 to $6,000. I thought it was at least 10 or 12, but it's not that much. So that was very surprising me. That between those two costs made me think I can swing this. The only issue that I'm having right now, Don, is that I don't think that this building is going to pass their inspection. I just don't think it will. It doesn't have a spec on it. It's not a, it's not a manufactured home, or it's not, and he's like, well, you told me that, that people out here do shipping containers and they get theirs on but a shipping container has a spec on it, so maybe they will, but if not, I'm trying to get ahead of this right now. I found a building that's online. I've been talking about it. It's if you want to look on the marketplace and what I'm looking at, look up job office trailer in Prineville, Oregon. It said it's sitting, the guy's name is Luke, and he wants $25,000 for it. And I think he'll take about, I don't know, maybe he will tell me, no, you're high. I don't want it, not literally, but I want full price for it. And that'll just be priced out of my, I just won't be able to swing it. But he's wanting 25, but it doesn't have any plumbing in it. It doesn't have any bathroom in it. It doesn't have a toilet in it. So that's something I'd have to do on my own. But that's why I thought I can start with that, put my composting toilet in there, and then put in the plumbing. Run some Apex and sink. I have some sinks. I have, a little bit of fittings or whatever, and I can do that. I have an on-demand hot water heater. I'll probably take out of this building, that I only used it a couple of times. Use that as my hot water heater for my bathroom. Install a shower, install a toilet, and run my septic. So the building, he wants 25, and I'm thinking maybe for some reason I could get it for $16,000 or $17,000. So I looked at, and I might have about $7,000 or $8,000 in precious metals. I don't know. I could just be overestimating. I'm not sure. I think I'm off. I really do. I think I'm off. But I thought I could bring this to the guy and say, look, precious metals are raging right now. We got $100 silver. It's possibly going to hit 200 for the end of the year. And he's going to go, yeah, I want on that. I'll take those. And he could look online and see it's, does somebody want to do that for me real quick? Just so we can, this is where I'm kind of figuring in that this buffalo is how much on AppMex right now? How much is this buffalo on AppMex? So how much is this buffalo on AppMex? If you go on AppMex right now and you look up silver, guarantee Oliver has no silver. Never even heard of Michael Oliver. You guys can't see his comment, but doesn't own any silver. But maybe if he'll say, hey, and if I wait another month or so and the building sits there, silver might be up to 120, 130, maybe 150. I don't know where it's going, but he'd say, hey, I want some of that metal. I'll take it from you because I do see that before the, okay, 101. Now, what is it to buy it though, Donald? That's the base price. What does it? Click on it. Click on that. What does it actually cost? Not 101 for a buffalo. I know it was considerably more than that the other day. Click on it, and if you buy 1 to 19, how much does it cost? Minus your shipping. You got to pay for shipping too. So how much is it to buy it itself? That's if you buy 500 rounds and you buy it on a bank wire. How much is it on a credit card or PayPal? Because that's what most people pay. Click on that, click on the cart, and then what does the first one say? If you buy 1 to 19, how much is it to buy a buff right now? Out the door. Don't include your shipping. Maybe if you spend $200 or more, you only get to buy 2 coins now. Whoa, you only get to buy 2 coins to get free shipping. That's awesome. I love it because all these dealers, online dealers, will normally give you $200 or more. They'll give you free shipping. So let's not count the shipping cost because you got a cost average. But if you bought 2 coins, 1 to 19, how much is it to buy a buffalo right now? That's if you buy 500 coins and you buy it on a bank wire. And I don't do a bank wire. You could, but nobody's gonna do a bank wire for 2 coins. It's not even efficient to drive up there and do that right now. You know what I'm saying, for the cost. So what's the cost at AppMex? I'm not asking Kitco. I'm asking to buy this at AppMex. If you go on AppMex, Kitco sells metal too, but AppMex is the largest distributor. What is it costing you right now to buy a buffalo round? A silver buffalo round, 1 ounce buffalo round. Click on AppMex. That was Kitco. What does it say to purchase 1 to 19 rounds? Anybody want to look that up? And see, this one, I'm hoping that guy will give me this price on it. because that's what you have to pay for. Not a paper contract. Say, hey, here's what I'm looking at. Here's what these are to actually own this physical metal in your hand. Okay, but no, Ryan, that's not the right price. APMEX. That's if you buy how many rounds though, Ryan? I'm talking if you buy 1 to 19 rounds. 1 to 19 rounds. That's not a good price either, because I was just on there yesterday looking. And I appreciate it, guys, but I'm looking at, this is the thing that people don't know the metal markets very well. There's a price that you actually pay when you pay 1 to 19. 19 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 250, 100, whatever it is. I'm talking about buying a single round or a couple rounds, which you get for shipping. So we'll leave the shipping price out of it. Okay. You probably not got to pay for shipping, but when you go on AppMix and you look up the Silver Buffalo, you'll click on the right. It says Silver Favorites. Click on that. You'll see the Buffalo. There's a price there. It says add to cart. That's if you buy 500 rounds. I'm talking about buying 20 or less rounds. That's $2,000, guys, at $100, So a round plus, there we go. 109 to 111. See, it's $111 to buy that right now. $111 to buy that round. $111. I'm hoping all those people that for 12 years on YouTube, 108.37. So you see what I'm saying, guys? It's right around there. It's $110. $110, pretty much. Right around there. 108. That's what I saw, right? Thank you. So it's $108. If we rounded it up to 110, and I'm sure the next week, they haven't even caught up, guys. That takes a little bit time to catch up with the markets. It does. If you've ever bought from an online dealer, there's a little bit of a lag. So I'd almost guarantee by Monday, that'll be way up over probably 111. That's just a guesstimation to be $111 per round. So if you're buying 20 rounds, you're looking at, $2,200. So I'm hoping this guy might take my precious metals, and I shouldn't get rid of my whole stack, but whatever, to get that building. That's what I think I'm going to try to do. That way I know the county will pass that building. I have to do compaction. I have to have somewhere to set that building. And that's the thing. It might be more efficient for me right now to leave this building where it's at, because I don't have compaction under this building. Although it's been sitting here for 5 or 6 years or 7 years, hasn't moved. I'm going to have an area. And actually, that's why I'm thinking about setting that building to the right of this building in front of the power pole. You guys have been outside with me. I think I'm going to set on the other side of this gate out here in that section over there, because I need to put down compaction. I have to have compaction to put down a pad. This one doesn't. So that means I'd have to hire a moving company for this building, move it, put it out, build the pad, and move it back. I don't think that's going to be very efficient. I think I'm just going to have to buck up and figure out how to come up with the extra cost. And I don't mean to, like I said, I ain't grifting. I don't want anybody to give. You all have bills, but I do have a pretty strong intuition that somebody's going to come in and help this ministry out. I do. I felt it this morning. I say, Father, I have all faith in you. I give you all glory. I've been doing this. You've had me girded in your service. This is your money. This is God's money. That somebody will come in and go, I'm going to buy that building for that ministry. I'll probably have to pay for the compaction, but I feel as if I don't want anybody to buy anything from me that doesn't want to. But I have a very strong intuition that somebody is going to help me out. I have put in tens of thousands of hours on YouTube, giving my service and my time for, look at all the videos that I've done. Look at all the live streams I've done. I have 12 years on YouTube. I really think somebody's going to help this ministry out. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to keep scratching. I'm going to keep going. And I plan on trying to have this property on the grid with the building by June, May, maybe, because it's February, March, April, May. In 4 months, I think somebody will help me out here, because they'll look at it and say, honey, we bought silver at $12, $13, $15, and we bought a bunch when it was really cheap. Look at these gains. I'm not saying that because I don't, I'm trying to squash all this stuff with a neighbor. Look at how much gains that person's made. that not even be a fraction, of what the gains. And it's okay. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to do it on my own. I'll figure out a way. If there's a will, Father's will, there's a way. He's a way maker, and I will do it. I'm just so beat up physically right now that I can't grind for 8 hours a day. I just can't do it. Sometimes it's 3 hours, sometimes it's 5 hours, sometimes I get a 6 hour in, but boy, after 6 hours, sometimes when I do that, it'll put me down for a day or two, and I don't want to miss any days. You know what I'm saying? So, it's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. Nobody has to donate a single dime, and Father will help me the strength to do this. He will. I know he will. I have the ability. I have the mental intestinal fortitude and the mental know-how. So I think it'll happen. And I think I need to just give up this metal. It's just a piece of shiny dirt. Who cares? I'll get more later. Well, it costs a considerable amount, but I think silver for $100 is cheap, guys. See what I'm saying? Already. Look, I think it's cheap already. Yeah, that's what I feel it, Donald. I felt the $100 silver before the night was up. I was, up late last night, churching with somebody that I removed everybody off my Facebook with this. She's a sister in Christ. And we stayed up until about midnight, talking about the word and fellowship. And when I went she's over from Lane County. When I went over there, I tried to see her. I tried to buy some pizza, and she's taken on, I think she has 2 kids. She has her own kid, but she's taken on 2 kids that she's not adopted them, but she watches kids for the state, and she has a lot of situations. She's taken in some high risk. They put in a child in her home but she's working with it. She's doing it. But so we fellowship till about midnight. And I saw metals hit that 99. I said, we're going to hit $100 tomorrow. And we did. We already hit $100. So $100 silver is cheap, guys. You're going to be wishing you got in at $100. It's already 108. It's already $8 over that premium. It's another $90. And we've already come up how much by this year? The beginning of silver was $70 at the beginning of this year, guys. We're only 23, 24 days into the year, right? 23rd. I don't know what it is today. Silver was $70 at January, and now it's 108, 109, 110, 100. If you buy a silver eagle, it's going to cost you even more, probably 114. So I think that we'll see these gains. You'll be wishing that you'd listen to me, and I'm not giving any economic advice, and bought in at $100. And so what if it goes down to 50? Don't lose your mind and sell it. Hold on to it. It will go back up. It will go back up. It's not going to go to 50, guys. It's not. We'll never see $50 silver ever again. We'll never see 50. In my eyes, we'll never see $50 silver. You take a ball underneath the water, and it's been suppressed for 180 years. The further you take it down, the higher it comes out of the ground. I'm looking out to hit the first big sell. Basemeyer, I've got fancy money envelope. And writing like the sheriff on his dirt. Nice. So, guys, I could be wrong. I don't get everything right, but when I do things and I have a lot of evidence to support what I'm saying, how could people have watched this ministry for the last 3 years? 3 years ago, silver was $25, $20. Remember? Yeah, it was. So somebody had to listen to me a few years ago and taken a little chunk, and now they're sitting on a big gain. I do think somebody will help the ministry out. It will help me, but it will help the ministry out, because then I'll be able to bring people out here too. Like I think Don's been wanting to come out here. Don, just come out here, Then I'd have the extra funding too to just send him a check, send him some money, get him a ticket or something, put him on an airplane or something. Come visit for a couple weeks, see if you like it out here. Don's wanted to come out here before. Maybe I could invite him. But right now, I don't want to do that, because I don't want to put anybody in a position to come here and then tell them they have to leave because I'm not on the grid. So I seriously have a strong intuition this morning. It just kind of overwhelmed me that there's been too many people that have watched this channel, watched Predestined for Light, watched Silver's Like Gold. Remember, I have other channels too, guys, that you probably have never been on, and I've been doing this for at least 12 years. On YouTube. So it's not like, I was blogging back in 2014, about Kiev and and Ukraine and Obama and, chemtrails, and when people thought I was crazy, when people told me I was nuts. He used to go around this town. Like I said, when I was up in town, bought a gate for the front of the property. Somebody came up to me. Watch, this is really funny. And they came up to me and said, "Oh, hey, thanks, man. I was, you talk about silver all the time. I was talking about silver to my neighbor, and they told me to take up all their dimes." You know what I'm saying? Uh, and they bought all their dimes. Uh, Nice, thank you. Yes, keep us updated on that, please, Don, if you can. I know it's going to be a rough. I'm really, you could be 150 to 200 million people without power in the U.S. Seriously, it's going to get nutty. It's going to get crazy. But again, I looked at this, and when I have done this for a long time, and I feel as if there's people found value in the work that Father has me doing, girded in His service, pointing out these corruption within the system, trying to point to what's going on, that people said, hey, I'm going around, I used to go around town going, you guys don't understand, this is a rigged market. You could get in on this right now. What would you rather have? Is this silver buffalo, right? Or would you rather have $20 when they were less than $20? Eagles too. I used to walk around. There's hundreds of people in this town. Hundreds of peoples in this town. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of peoples in this town. They came up to me yesterday. Actually, two different people when I was buying the gate came up to me. Then a lady came up to me. She said, I was talking about silver. A guy in town had some silver dimes. And I went and he said, hey, I want this much out of them. Anything else you can gain. I think she said she made like a couple of the few $100s. She took her and her husband out to dinner. They went to a spa, all kinds of stuff. They blew the money and said, I thank you so much. She said, I sold those dimes to the Lapine market for $5.10 a dime. And I went and bought them the very next day for $6.30 a dime. There wasn't that many of them, and gain. And I said, I bought them for $6.30. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I bought the next day because I was in town, and I got them, because I had a little bit of money put away. I got some of my bail money back, guys. I can't believe how much money they took out of that. That's robbery, what they did to me. And that's not even the big money that I was talking about, for Elijah's bail and all, it was a smaller check, but I took that. I said, hey, I got to get my phone fixed. I got to pay the land payment. I got land payment. I have the money for the phone bill, paid my car insurance, bought this light, got my screen or whatever. And that pretty much tapped me out. So I feel like, hey, the service that I did, in this town, the people have come up to me and go, man, I really appreciate you talking to me about silver, because you were going around when it was less than $20, putting a $20 bill in people's hands and have my pockets, liberty, and said, what would you rather have? When it was less than $20 prior to the COVID, guys, prior to the COVID. So it's kind of edifying sometimes when I go into town. I'm going to town too often. People come up to me and go, man, I appreciate it. We are really appreciative of what you have put yourself out there. And a lot of people in this town say, well, you talk a lot, and, a lot of, go run away from me. He's going to talk to you about God, and you'll know you can't get away from him. They're like, you're like a freaking magnet, like Velcro. It's like you can't get away from him. Well, just walk away. So it's edifying, guys, knowing that people are doing good now. And look, all this stuff is crashing. And I ask you to get into something solid, an asset, not go buy a freaking rainbow vacuum, that you're just going to stick in your closet and never use. And I didn't tell anybody you're going to get rich. This isn't a lottery ticket. This isn't a Bitcoin. This has taken time to hold for a lot of years. People have had to hold it for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, 12 years. But look at their gains now. Imagine all the people who bought in when silver was $14. Truth Viral Television. They can't hack your silver and gold. Go look at that video. Truth Viral Television. They can't hack your silver and gold. Silver was at $13, $14 back then. So people are doing really well right now. And when it was in this town, it was under $20. I ran around for 8, 9 years in this town, pulling my silver out of my pocket. I've always have a Buffalo and normally have a Liberty. I used to carry the Liberty more often because it was a U.S. something they're very familiar with, and say, what would you rather have? This $20 bill? Or, how many people told me they take the $20 bill, brothers, sisters? Like, I don't know, what is silver? You can't spend that at the store. Yeah, it's only worth $1. I know. And look at it now. It's only worth $1. But what's it at now? $100. See, it's lost all its purchasing power, hasn't it? The dollar has lost all its purchasing. If you take a silver eagle, and only can spend it for $1 at the store. Even though the U.S. Mint, it's at $175 at the U.S. Mint right now. To buy a silver eagle from the U.S. Mint, it's $175. So that $1 has now, when it hits $100, brothers and sisters, it's eaten up all the value. It's gone. There is no money in. I know you can spend it, but it's not worth it. It would have been better, obviously, to have listened to me, take some sound economic, not advice, information, and moved your money into precious metals. Look at all the gains that you have. Everything you've lost now out in the market, you've gained back right there, $108. More than that. See what I'm saying? $20 don't even cover the shipping now. So think about that. It's only $1. If you go spend that liberty at the store, it's not $100 for those ones from the U.S. Mint, brothers and sisters. They have a mint mark on them. They're a collector's item. They're not put into circulation. They're a different kind at $175, but it is $108 right now. You only get $1 for it at the store. U.S. Eagle, they'll only give you $1 for it. Who would spend it, right? That's the bit. Well, I can't spend it. Okay, whatever. I'm not telling you to spend it. I'm telling you to hold on to it. Don't spend it. Hold on to it. So if it was $1 face value, and I was telling these people to buy it for $100, look at the price of everything now. It's going to keep its purchasing power, brothers and sisters. So I have a strong intuition that somebody will come on to this channel and one of these days I'll get a Cash App, or somebody will contact me through Predestined for Light. Say, Pastor, we want to buy that building. We went and looked at it online. We saw your restream. We want to come in and we want to buy it for the ministry. And if they don't, I'll buy it. I will. I'll scratch it out, broken back, messed up, whatever I got, I'll still do it anyways. But I have a strong intuition. I do. I've helped out too many people, not expecting anything in return from anybody. I never said, okay, when I tell you this, you'll give me some money, right? When it goes to $100, you'll get a hold of me then, right? I never said that to anybody. Never once, not ever one time did I expect anybody to give anything to me. I was just trying to get them in some sound God's money, somewhere where I knew in the future they're going to keep making and printing. They weren't printing $1 trillion back then, every 100 days. So I'm hoping again, that people have taken the advice, and if not one person does, that they actually can keep up now, and they're not going to get inflated away by their currency, that their money is solid. If they spend it now, they're going to take the gains and say, hey, honey, let's do that remodel. Who cares if it goes to 300? Who cares if it goes to 500? We can enjoy now. Because like I said, I think it's wrong to just sit there and keep stacking your metal and putting it in a pile and never spend it. Give it to your kids. That's different. That's different if you want to give that value to their kids, because it's going to be worth it then. It'll be worth it then. Your kids won't lose. The money will still be there. So, no, I didn't tell you to invest in precious metals. See? This I never said anybody to invest in precious metals. Look at this idiot, brothers and sisters. I don't mean to go there. Look how long I've been on here, brothers and sisters, and I said I'm not giving any economic advice, and people like Austin come in here. Brothers and sisters, you can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid, brothers and sisters. Remember? I said I'm not giving any economic advice. I'm giving economic information, and then you have people like this come in there. This is the society that I live in, brothers and sisters. People are lost. You can't fix stupid, brothers and sisters. You just can't fix stupid. I'm not down on this person, but people only hear what they want to hear. People only hear what they want to hear. This is the society I live in, brothers and sisters. This is the person that I would hope wouldn't even listen to me. They take the $20 in cash and go, I can't spend it. Thanks for coming in and proving that most people are asses. Well, have an unwillingness to learn and have a deaf ear. Anybody want to read? Let's read. You don't invest in precious metals. I didn't tell anybody to invest in anything. I'm not giving any economic advice. If you went back and you'd listened for just more than a second, I said, I'm not giving any economic advice. How much have you invested in Curious? If you'd follow this channel for more than a second, you realize I just had 40 pounds of silver taken from me. 40 pounds. Okay. I just had to spend to get some legal, silver that I sold at $30 and gold at 3,000. What would that be worth now? See, people, you can't fix people, brothers, sisters. Also, you're 100% giving economic service. You yelled at the phone. You should listen to me. See what I'm saying, brothers, sisters? People only hear what they want to hear. Austin, thanks for proving everything about people in society that people have selective hearing. You're just making proof of this. Anybody want to comment on that? On Austin just came in here. Did I tell anybody to go invest in this, clear out your savings, sell everything, max your credit cards out? As a matter of fact, I said quite the opposite. That's society, brothers, sisters. You cannot fix stupid. And I need to calm down with that a little bit, because I don't want to come off like that. But this is the society I live in. Nobody has to do anything. I'm just giving you the information. You do with it what you want. If they came in and watched the beginning of the stream, this is the very first thing I said. I'm not giving any economic advice. Do with but look at what happened to the people who actually took the information I had and were proactive about it. So I would hope that Austin would never listen, and thank you for giving Austin a deaf ear, because he'll probably never go get anything. It's derogatory. Okay. People like me, like Noah, they told Noah he was crazy for 126 years. You ever read the book of Luke? And then it rained. And then it rained, brothers, sisters. So you can't fix people. They just won't hear it. It just falls on a deaf ear. Do not take anything I say and go talk to your financial advisor before you spend any of your money. You earned it, hard-earned money. You do with it what you will. I was telling people this would be a good time to pull profit. But if I told you to do it, no, you can do whatever you want with your own money. So that's the problem that I have with people, brothers, sisters. They just don't hear me. They hear what they want to hear. You do with what your money, what you think you should do it. Go put it in Bitcoin, right? Go buy a meme coin. Did you get some Trump coins? This is the society I live in. I never told anybody to invest in anything. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. We got a few more minutes. It's not till 11 o'clock. So, obviously, Isaac, it was $70 at the beginning of this year. Silver was $70 at the beginning of January. You know what I'm saying? It was $70. It's $108 right now to buy a buffalo. Are you a buffalo farmer, brothers, sisters? These are the best kind of buffalo. I'm a farmer. These are the best kind of buffalo. These are the best buffaloes to farm. Want to know why? They don't bark. They don't bite. They don't piss on your furniture. They compact really easy, and they don't even need to fed. Okay? So, you do with what you think, brothers and sisters. I'm not giving any economic advice here. I'm only telling you what it is that I have seen. You worked hard for your money. If you honestly worked for it, you do what you think. I think $100 silver is cheap. I see $300 silver by the end of the year. If it doesn't happen, I don't care if silver goes down to $50. Back the truck up. Because there are going to be people who won't listen. What are you going to do? Just keep it in dollar bills and let it get inflated away? $1 trillion they print every 100 days? That's our GDP, brothers, sisters. $1 trillion every 100 days. What's the national debt's almost up to $439 trillion? You stay in whatever your lane you think. I'm not giving economic advice to anybody. I'm just telling you what I see in past and in what I've done. I've gone and put $20 bills in people's hands before the COVID with a silver eagle and said, what would you rather have? I would say almost half the people, brothers, sisters, say they don't get it. They're like, where do you spend that at? You can't spend it. We can spend it at the store. You only get $1 out of it. Well, then why would I want to invest in that? No. Shh. That's fine. I'm only talking to people who have a hearing ear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I have a video of that 12 years ago on Truth Viral Television. They can't hack your gold and silver. That's a video I did, a specific title of the video. Go look at it. It's on Truth Viral Television. It's a channel that I'm blocked out of. I can't even get in my Gmail account to do anything They've stripped the channel down, all the subscribers, but the videos are still there. That's a beautiful thing. Just like America Ever After. They can't hack your precious metals, brothers, sisters. They can't hack them. They can't inflate them away. And if they lower the price, it scares people. They'll go sell it. It's called HODL. Hold on for dear life. Okay, I'm going to give you another channel, and I better get off here, brothers, sisters. I think that one day I'm just like Bix Weir at Road to Ruta, Roota. If you're not subscribed to Bix, discern everything Bix says, but he's having his Noah moment right now. He put out a video last night, and he put out a video today, first part of the day. Road to Ruta. I think that one day you will be able to trade this silver ounce for 2 to 3 pieces of gold. I think silver's worth more than gold. Silver's like gold's my backup channel. If you're not subscribed to the backup channel, go subscribe to the backup channel now. Silver's like gold. If this channel ever gets taken down, Road to Ruta, Bix Weir. People have been calling Road. He's been talking about this. He's a ratio guy like me. He don't care about price. Road to Ruta, he sees silver will match gold. So $5,000 silver. 5,000. I don't think gold will go down. I think gold will keep going up. $5,000 silver. Is that a possibility? Well, if the ratio goes to 1-to-1, absolutely it is. Oh my God, he just said $5,000 silver, honey. Okay, we were crazy at $50 too, huh? It was never going to hit $50 again. Brothers, sisters, silver has been suppressed for over 180 years. If you take a beach ball under the water, the further you take it down, the higher it comes out of the water. And remember that with cycles. Nothing goes straight up. It shouldn't. It should stair step like gold does. The higher it goes up, the faster it goes down. 80% to 90% of the gains are made in the last 10% of the market. That's called FOMO, fear of missing out, a melt up or a blow off top. So if it starts skyrocketing, man, oh boy, you better watch out. It's going to come crashing down hard. I don't care about the price. Price is a tool of manipulation. 1-to-1, 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 gold and silver. In the 12th century, they valued that the historic ratio between the two metals is 15-to-1. And when it was in our money, like 64 and older quarters, the ratio was 15-to-1. That's when I'm going to make my first exit. You know what I'm saying? This is a society, holds no value. Carl, thank you for your opinions. Opinions are like bungholes, and everybody's got one. It holds no value. Why is silver sitting at $108 right now, and they keep printing $1 trillion every day? This is God's money. Wrong channel there, Carl Bob. Go somewhere else. You're an idiot. You are. You don't know anything about precious metals. I can obviously tell you. Diamonds ain't worth anything because diamonds was a market. This is society, brothers. They open up their mouth and don't think about it. Diamonds, they created that scarcity. Remember? Diamonds. Forever. Remember? Diamonds. That's a girl's best friend, right? Why don't they say what they really want? You know what I'm saying? One of the comedians said that. Diamonds, a girl's best friend, right? Diamonds, it'll render her speechless. Why don't they say what they really want? Give her some diamonds. That'll shut her up. Some comedian said that, guy, about diamonds. I'm not telling you to invest in diamonds, okay? Listen, I'm not telling you to invest in anything. You guys ever hear that comedian said that about the commercial they came out with? Diamonds, that'll render her speechless. Why don't they say what they really mean? I'll say it again. Give her some diamonds. That'll shut her up. What do you think, Sabrina? I'm going to get a laugh out of that one, huh? I thought it was hilarious. When I first heard that, I about peed my pants a little bit, dude. I'm serious. I did. I'm like, that is hilarious. So I'm not giving you any economic advice, guys. Do what you think. You work for that money. You get taxed. You got, remember, state, federal. Isn't that hilarious? That is hilarious. Yeah. But diamonds are worthless. Most of the time, brothers and sisters, when you bring in diamonds to go look at Pawn Man. I think his name is Pawn Man. He popping up on my Facebook channel. He's a young hustler, okay? When you bring in diamonds, he don't pay for the diamonds. Most of the time, they'll take the diamonds out. They don't want your diamonds. If you brought a diamond ring in and it's gold, 14 karat, 18 karat, 24 karat gold, they'll probably give you the diamonds back. They'll give you the diamonds back. Silver's not worth nothing. What about AI, brothers, sisters? What about data mining stations? Silver is probably the most extremely undervalued asset. Gregory Mannarino. I've been following him for 12 years. Put a 1 in the chat if you're following Gregory Mannarino. I love it. He's not in his suit anymore. For 12 years on YouTube, Gregory Mannarino has come in all dressed up nicely. He's been talking about silver's the most undervalued asset on this rock. And now he's got a beanie on and a beard. Good for you, Gregory Mannarino. So relaxed. Now, Seriously, he got a big old beard or whatever. He got a beard and forever he came in dressed to the hilt, nice suit and tie. Video after video, I've been watching Gregory Mannarino. Okay. And look at him now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, silver always catches up. Remember, silver makes higher highs and lower lows than gold. Gold is a nice steady climb. That's what gold does. It's been a store of value. Kings and queens put it away. Remember, if you have enough of this and you stack enough of this, gold and silver are wealth. If you have enough, you are wealthy. Okay, it's never wrong to pull profit too, brothers, sisters. This might not be a time if you've been wanting to put that addition onto the house, buy a double cab Tacoma or something like that to pull some of your profits. I think we're just getting started. I think we're just getting started. I don't think that we are in a long bull cycle, and this will continue for years to come. Silver makes higher highs and lower lows. Silver was the number one. Look at gold and silver are not worth. That's what somebody said. Silver is the number one performing asset of 2025, up 164%. Outpaced Bitcoin, the tokens, you know, your Bitcoin, it outpaced the stock market. Silver was the number one performing asset of 2024, and I'm certain that it will be 2026 will be the number one performing asset of 2026. It will outpace gold because of the ratio. I don't care about the price. The ratio is closing. At the time of COVID, it was 125. You could have 125 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. It sat about 80 to 90 for like a decade, brothers, sisters. It's been sitting around that, okay? Okay? Now it's set down to like 50, 51. In our money, it was 15 to 1. Silver quarters is now $17.50. A silver dime is $7. And that's at this shop that I know that sells it less. So you can't tell me that it doesn't have value. I'm not giving any economic advice, but I pay attention to ratio. I don't care about the price. I will never get, I have to now, but if I go ahead and pull the trigger, if nobody helps me out here, and that's fine, you're helping out the ministry. You don't have to give a single penny to this ministry to be a part of the ministry, ever. You can stay here until they shut me down off the internet. I will not, you don't have to. Your time is more valuable. You can't print time. It's going so stinking fast that you can't make it up. But silver outperformed, was the number one performing asset, up 164% last year. And it's climbing. It's climbing. Look what it's doing. So you do with what you think. You do what you think you need to do with your money. You worked hard for it. Remember, they've got, they started, I'm not talking about a revolutionary war. I'm talking about going around the system. And that's what silver and gold does, is you go around the current system. Remember, in 1971, brothers, sisters, there was a silver certificate. You could take your silver certificate into the bank and say, I don't trust the system anymore. I want my 2 silver eagles. And you could pull your money out of the system, become your own central bank. That's a Gregory Mannarino quote too. Who's subscribed to Gregory Mannarino? If you're not subscribed to Gregory Mannarino on YouTube, my backup channel, Silver Like Gold, I recommend before you get out of here, $2 silver certificate, or your $2 silver certificate. You can pull your money out of the bank. Say, I don't trust the bank anymore, and you become your own system. Okay? So I'm not telling you what to do. Remember, they started a revolutionary war over 2% taxes, no taxation without representation. You got a state, a federal, a gross, a net, and it makes me sick how much you get taxed on 40% of your income. As of now, not in this state. In some states they do. They can't tax you out of your, well, they say, ATMEX. Go back and watch the channel here, A Year of the Phoenix. That's my son's brother's name. His name's Elijah. His name's Phoenix. Pretty odd, huh? Kind of opposite end of the spectrums there. ATMEX. JM, if you're a veteran, I'm a veteran, they give you a discount like you buy 500 rounds, the lowest price at JM, okay? You got to give them your paperwork. SD Bullion, Money Metals Exchange, Monument Metals, Provident Metals, okay? Gold and Silver Bull. Be careful, brothers, sisters. There are so many fakes coming out onto the market right now. With silver at $100, China is producing fakes. China is 40% of the world's refining. In January of this year, they cut off all their exports, brothers, sisters. I think that's what we're starting to see too. There's been a silver deficit every year now for the last 6 years since the COVID of 2 to 300 million ounces not being produced. That's demand. 80% of the market is made up by an industry. A small amount of it is in jewelry and investment, okay? Most of it is now going to be data mining stations, AI, war. Silver is the lifeblood of the military industrial complex, not oil. Every one of these switches, drones, Black Hawk, Apache helicopters, military destroyers, Navy take silvers. To make your phone swipe, pinch, that takes silver, brothers, sisters. Okay, so be careful of buying from, there's so many new online dealers. I don't even recognize the names. It's ridiculous. I would not recommend buying from any of these new companies. Golden State Mint. I've been buying from them. They're a mint out of Florida, very trusted. They mint their own. There's another great company. I got to get off here. I'm going to take this phone call, take a break, make something to eat. I'll come back on. I want to talk about $100 silver, okay? Silver's not $100, brother, sister. Silver is $108 to buy this same buffalo right now, okay? If anything of this chat was valuable to you, there is a Cash App and a PayPal. Do not feel obligated ever to donate anything or tie to this ministry. I'm not going to give you some brownie button or call you out. I'll give you thanks, but I probably won't even mention your name. There's somebody who gave a donation, the largest one I ever had. I went and bought silver dimes for $2.10. They're $7 right now. Thank you for whoever gave that. And they know who that was, okay? They've been in and out of this channel a couple of times in the last month. They gave a donation. I went and put it in silver, and I thank God that I did. You know what I'm saying? Sell it when the ratio, if I was to me, when the ratio goes back to the standard that it's always been. Remember the ratio, God's ratio for every 8 ounces that comes out. I call this God's ratio for it. Don't pay attention to price. Price is a tool of manipulation. You're going to be fine no matter what if you make profits. Never wrong to take any profit. But when it goes back to 15 to 1, 15 to 1 is when I would pull profit. I can't hold on to my metal right now. I'm probably going to have to sell it unless somebody can help the ministry out. It's okay. Nobody has to. But if not, I'm going to hold on to it. Never sell your whole stack. Never sell your whole stack. Never, 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 never sell your whole stack. Do it in increments. I'm going to wait till the ratio closes to 15 to 1. If I can hold on to this metal, because that was the ratio, again, it comes out of the ground for every 8 ounces of silver, 1 ounce of gold, 8 ounces of silver. I call that God's ratio. That's what it comes out of the ground. That would probably be a good time. 15 to 1, 18 to 1. I'm actually one of these people that thinks I'll never do it. I'll actually move into gold. I do believe, just like Bix Weir at Road to Ruta says, you'll be able to trade this silver for 3 ounces of gold. It was 1 to 1 in the 12th century. They didn't value silver more than gold in the 12th century. This is probably the most reflective, most conductive metal, and the most widely used metal on this. They use it in photovoltaics, solar, data mining stations, and they burn it up in data mining stations. They weave it into Band-Aids because it's antimicrobial, colloidal silver, antibacterial. I put this in my Berkey water filter. I don't have to clean. What's the purest thing on this, the most pure thing on this rock? Water. What do they purify water with? Silver. Okay, save silver and save lives. They put 500 ounces of this in a Patriot missile, brothers, sisters, and drop this on people's heads. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's okay. There's going to be a demand for what is called junk silver or constitutional silver. It's 90%. Listen, don't freak out right now. 575. The refiners quit taking constitutional right silver. That's a small backup. I think somebody's about ready to corner the market. So if you've got it in 90% constitutional silver, 90%, you know what I'm saying, in silver dollars, unless they're, that's silver dollars. Just hold on to it. There's going to be such a huge demand. The refiners are going to want that stuff, and it's fractional too. I like quarters and dimes because that's 14 transaction. There's 14 silver dimes that make up 1 ounce. It's 5.5 quarters. A quarter is $17.50 right now, brothers, sisters. Or excuse me, might even be more. A dime is $7. But hold up. This is not the time to get rid of in my eyes, because there's a little bit of a backup in constitutional silver right now. Somebody was hoarding it and dumped a bunch on the market. So that will change. During the COVID, the price of constitutional silver or junk silver had a massive premium. Like a silver eagle was $25 and premium was $25, and so was the premium on Constitutional. Okay. Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. But listen, Eli, pull some profit when you feel like the ratio is right. Unless you're just putting it away for your kiddos. Putting it away for your kiddos, that's fine. I know people that will never sell their metal, but then why do you have it? You need to take some profit at a certain point. Otherwise, why do you even have it, right? I'm not going to tell you what to do with it, and that's fine, because I know a lot of silver bugs and gold bugs that will never, ever sell their silver. Let me tell you this, too, one more thing before I go. If they took all the surface silver, which is getting less and less because they use it in data mining stations, it gets eaten up, okay? If everybody had, and we did socialism, like Trump when he handed out the COVID checks, or Bernie Sanders, he's one of the biggest socialists ever, right? If they took all the silver, there you go. There you go. Then don't let me get you off your rocker there. Eli, good for you. Good for you. And it'll be a store of value later, and it'll be there for them. I've already talked about that. If they took all the surface silver, feel the burn, Bernie Sanders. If they took all the surface silver, brothers, sisters, and divided it amongst everybody, there's only enough for everybody to have 8 ounces each. God's ratio. That's God's ratio. I already told you. 8 ounces each. So if you have 9 ounces, you have somebody's piece of silver. If you got 10 ounces, you got 2 pieces of people's silver. The silver market is a $900 billion market cap. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Want to say bye before we go? Junipers. Hey. Get out from underneath me. So 8 ounces a piece. You know, some of these people got safes full of them, warehouses full of them. There's only enough to have 8 ounces for everybody else, brothers. Just once the average person figures this out, there's going to be 2. It's already getting there. There's going to be 2 stages. Unaffordium, where it's silver's $100. I'm priced out of it. I can't buy anymore at that rate. It's just too expensive for me. I can't afford a $7 dime. I just can't. Unaffordium, and then unobtainium. That's when my mining stock that I have in Black Rock Silver, BKR, out of the Tampa district in Nevada, is going to go through the roof. It's going to go through the roof. I'm always a work in progress, so I'm always trying to learn. Seriously, 575, if I don't learn something new every day, I feel like I've robbed myself. I really do, okay? And I'm not here to gain anything from anybody. I'd like to see other people. I'm a service to other being. I joined the military at 17 years old, willing to give this flesh for the betterment of the cause, okay? It's just the way Father made me. I got to learn something every day. I'm always in a study mode. So don't think I'm done learning yet. And sometimes we got to unlearn and relearn because we didn't learn right the first time, okay? Especially when it comes to the scriptures, brothers, sisters. Remember that. That's why we study one word at a time on this ministry, and I'm such a stickler for the word. Remember, Father is the Word. The Word became flesh. Hokadesh is spirit. He spoke all this to existence, okay? So Paul said, wrestle not against flesh and blood, okay? Don't take anything I just said as economic advice. You do with what your hard-earned money that you decide to do. Remember, it's never wrong to pull profit, brothers, sisters. $100 silver is here. We finally made it. We're having our Noah moment, brothers, sisters. 126 years that old man was building an ark and a big boat, and it never even rained once on this rock. You ever read the book of Luke? Then it rained. Okay, so some of us are kind of having our Noah moment right now. Okay, if you want to donate, come back when you have more time. You can't print time, and it's so fast. It's going. I mean, January 1st, silver was $70. Now it's over $100. Do the math. The end of the year, what will it be? Who cares if it goes back to 50? Back up the truck. It'll go back up again. Okay, no advice here. If you're watching the restream and you want to help, well, we'll talk about that on the next. Only the big money's been moving right now. $57.99. It's been the big money. The general public is not buying silver right now. Actually, most of the public is selling their silver. I know because I get some constitutional dimes, and they've been telling me they've been sending it to melt for the last 2 or 3 years. To melt. Now they're not. Now they're selling it on the market. So we're starting to see some of our regular Joes, just like you and me, move into the market. Again, a $3 quadrillion is the derivative market. If a fraction, 0.01%, moves into the silver market, that would push silver up to $5,000. It would push silver up to $5,000. It really would. Silver and gold are going to be 1-to-1. I have a channel that's silver's like gold. If you're not subscribed to my backup channel, this channel does go down from time to time. We're shadow banned. If you want to give to this ministry, I am looking to purchase a building for the ministry. That's up to you. Have Cash App and PayPal, but never feel obligated to give a single dime. Your time is more valuable than money to me, okay? What I do for the ministry, okay? I got to go. Yep, it's the most conductive. And I remember this. Gosh, you guys are so hard to stand here. Okay, listen. What is that? N60. And remember, in the data mining stations, it's not like it goes into the phone where it's still in there. They use it up like colloidal silver. Remember, those data mining stations burn up the silver. They burn it up. Like they put 500 ounces at the end of a cruise missile and they blow it up. Remember, it says in the scripture, they'll throw their gold and silver in the streets. They already do, 500 ounces at a time in a Patriot missile, and they blow it up and it's gone. Okay, so less and less. That's why there's a deficit every year for the last 6 years of 200 to 300 million ounces. And we're going into an AI, tech, robotics, anti-gravitics, perpetual polarity. All of this will take silver. Okay, it will. It will. Solar just went from 1 ounce to 2.5 ounces on photovoltaics. That new car battery, electric vehicle, 32 ounces. And I don't care when Samsung, it doesn't matter the price. They're going to buy the silver no matter the cost. Elon Musk just invested in a silver mine. Okay. Look at, why do you think he's messing with Greenland, guys? Okay. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be less and less silver. So you think the price of silver is now, price of tool and manipulation, hodl, hold on for dear life. It's just going to close. And as there's less and less silver, you should see the price of that silver just continue to rise at this point. You know what I'm saying? So as we go into the future and they use more and more silver, there's going to be less and less. Watch that gap. Watch that grow. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Silver at $100 is cheap. I'm not giving any advice. You'd be kicking yourself in the ass. Look, people said silver at over 50 was expensive. Silver was $70, and I'm not giving any advice, was $70 in January at the beginning of this year. It just broke over 100, and it's 108, 111 to buy it. You'll be kicking your self in the ass if you didn't buy silver at $100. I'm not telling you to buy anything, okay? You want to buy this ministry, this building. If you want to buy something, you want to spend something solid, help this ministry out. You don't have to, okay? I don't expect anything out of anybody. I'll scratch it out myself. Even with just finding out that my L3 compression fracture vertebrae, I'm going to still grind it out, brothers and sisters, for this ministry. I love you. I got to go. I have an appointment coming at 11. I need my phone open. Love you, brothers and sisters. Come back when you have more time because you can't print time. Look, you just spent a bunch of it here and you can't get it back. See, I told you time's more valuable than any precious metal, okay? Have food and water. Please have a water filter. If you don't own a water filter, I don't wear my rice and beans in. You don't have food, okay? I know, huh? Say, some of us say, so please have some kind of water filtration, personal water filter, food, store, freeze-dried food, long-term food storage, and then maybe took a look at getting into the precious metal sector. If you don't have a water filter and you don't have extra rice and beans, you know what I'm saying? Please, 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 please go invest in food. You're laying next to a big old gold bar, brothers and sisters, and you didn't listen to me because you went and spent all your money on the gold bar. You can't eat gold or silver, okay? Don't get into this market unless you're secure with your food security and you got a good water filtration system. Then it's a good time to maybe take a look at what to do with the rest of your money, okay? Yes. Life Straw or Sawyer Mini. Berkey is what I've been using for 10 years. I use my Berkey and I just changed the filters out a few years ago and they still work properly. I just put them in as a backup. Berkey, it's a gravity water filter. You pour the water over the top. I love it. I'm always sitting here and I always have a hole. Notice I don't drink out of plastic, okay, guys? Water filtration, Sawyer Mini. This will filter 100,000 gallons of water, brothers, sisters. And if you ladies, you got a pouch, you can hide it from the guys. 100,000 gallons. You'll never buy another water filter ever again. Maybe you should buy a couple extras. Okay? Outstanding. This is a great filter. 100,000 gallons. You'll never need another one. If you can hold on to it. Okay? So I use Life Straw. That's one I've used. Okay? In the past. I like them both, but the Life Straw only does like 10,000 gallons. This is 100,000 gallons. And for the money, this is probably the best filter that for money can buy. It's got a bag and a filter. I like Mountain House Foods. Nate at Canadian Prepper, go see. He's got a list. I'll come back up with it later. Freeze-dried wholesalers. They've got the top. They got lobster and steak and the best stuff. But I use, and I've eaten them on here on this stream, Mountain House. It's out of Albany, Oregon. Love the product. Go look at the reviews. Nobody says, stay away from freeze-dried food. That's fear porn. If it's survival food, don't buy that stuff, guys. That's garbage. It's you can get pancake mix and you can get potatoes and you can get soup. You need high protein, okay? Stay away from these freeze-dried food companies that are pitching you on fear. They're hoping that you're going to stick that into your closet, put it in your garage, and never eat it. When things break down, and they're getting worse and worse in this country, you're going to want something that you like to eat. Something you don't want to eat, choking it down, and it's no good. Take the time to look at what you're buying. If they're selling you on fear, that's not the company to buy from. Look at these Backpacker's Pantry, Mountain House Foods. Go and look at, something that's got good quality food that you're going to want to eat. Don't be buying stuff like that. A lot of those things you can to put in a Mylar bag, in an oxygen absorber, and put flake potatoes, put, soups and stuff that are powdered, and that's all you're getting. You're not getting much protein. So please, if you've been thinking about buying food, long-term food storage lasts up to 25 years. And people tell me, oh, you think the world's going to come to an end, right? Oh, yeah, that's why I put away food for 25 years for now, because I think the world's going to come to an end there, ding-dong. Don't eat ding-dongs, okay? Stay away from processed foods as much as possible, brother, sister. Sugar is a poison. But don't cut yourself so hard of sugar like I did, where I could eat bread, pasta, sugar all at once. I sent my body and made myself hypoglycemic. I'm going to work myself back on to some stuff. But please go get something right now, even if it is candy. I'm a veteran. There's a reason why they put a little pack of M&Ms in that Tabasco bottle in your MRE, meal ready to eat. It's because it's a morale lifter. So I want you to go to the store when you get a chance and get the thing that you want. I don't care if it's even sugary. Don't eat it. You won't eat a bunch of it later, but get something to pull your, what I'm saying? Yes, absolutely. And as of now, if you're on the cards where the assistance cards, even though you can't buy prepared food, it's dry, you can buy it on EBT. Knocks it out of the park, Salmon. Thank you for telling people, because there's a lot of people that are still. It doesn't matter what your income is. You don't have to have an income to be in here. I don't care what your income is. I don't care if you're rich, poor, free, bond. It doesn't matter, okay? Those with less will have more, and those would have less, okay? So thank you. That's an outstanding fact. Do not have pride. Pride is a sin. Go out right now and get to yourself, even if you're on one of those EBT or assistance cards, they will. Mountain House, you can buy those. Thank you, Salmon. That's outstanding. Thank you for telling people that, because most people who don't know that right now. And it saves you guys a lot of time. You got to prepare. I've had freeze dryers. We'll go over that. I got to go. Love you, brothers, sisters. The links are to the description if you want to support the ministry, to Cash App and PayPal. Never a requirement to be a part of the ministry. Tithe is a time. Like I said, you just spent 2 hours, 22 minutes here, and you can't get a single second back. You can't tell me that time is not more valuable than money. All right, Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.